this guy. The Noles definitely focused on him. And here we go. Opening night. Hill driven to the end zone, but he'll bring it out. Cannot quite get the corner, and he's knocked out short of the 20-yard line. That's a win for the Florida State coverage team. Our Chick-fil-A impact players tonight, Desmond Rollins trying to pound the rock with the running back and then work in Hill. Mario Edwards back in his home state, Kirk.
Yeah, Rollins, a physical back. Hill has the speed. Edwards is becoming a leader for this defense. And Jalen Ramsey, only a true sophomore, played some corner last year, moved to safety. He kind of takes over the role for LaMarcus Joyner and being the leader of that back end for the Noles defense. So
for the night team, J.W. Walsh and the Cowboys will start their opening possession. J.W. from just up the road in Denton, Texas, and it is Tyreek Hill, the speedy transfer in the backfield. Along with Rowland. And they hand it off to big Desmond Rowland, who came on late last year. He's a physical back. He'll try to wear down the defense.
Well, this defense has their ears pinned back. They're going to make J.W. Walsh and the Cowboys prove that they can throw the football. And until then, they're going to load up on this option attack. The two-back zone read look. J.W. Walsh is a dual-threat quarterback, loves to run, really loves to try to create when he throws the ball for play action. But the Noles right now are coming after him.
Roland's helmet came off, so he was replaced by Rennie Childs for 2nd and 10. Off inside, stutter step, and bulldozing for a couple of yards is Tyreek Hill. Ran a 20.14, 200 meters, the second fastest high school time in history. But can he find open space?
Well, he's going to have to try to find a crease for us to see that speed. This is the first third down, obviously, the ball game. Let's see how J.W. Walsh performs. More importantly, let's see how that young offensive line up front, in front of him, takes care of him on this play on third down.
Rennie Childs to Walsh's right. Noles don't show pressure, and Walsh is a good runner, takes up, but he doesn't have first down yardage, and the Bucs go 3 and out.
You know, Jeremy Pruitt, defensive coordinator last year when they won a national championship, moved on to Athens to be the defensive coordinator for Georgia. Charles Kelly, who was on the staff last year as a linebacker coach, he's still here. That's a look at him right there, and he's still dialing up the same pressures. If they get Oklahoma State consistently to third down, it will be a long night for Oklahoma State's offense. They can't afford to be at third, medium to third and long.
Kip Smith is the punter. Rashad Green, the 4-year starting wide receiver, back to take it for the Noles. Usually good hang time for Smith. Not a terribly long kick, but a fair catch at the 42-yard line, and that's where Jameis Winston will start. Can he possibly top the spectacular opening night he had a year ago at Pittsburgh?
Well, I think the big thing for Jameis is not to try to do too much. He's gotten so much attention, not just last year, but in the offseason. You can see he's got a little smile on his face. They've been working for 8 months for this moment. He has to let the game come to him. Now, he's always shown us that that's a strength of his. It typically performs well on the big stage. Let's see if he forces things here early or lets the game come to him and just goes out and executes.
Carlos Williams, now the featured back, is to his left. Winston to throw it on first down. Good protection, zips it across, and a catch made, about a 10-yard gain of the very first play as he comes out finding Christian Green.
Well, they're going to mix up a variety of looks. Green to the far right on the outside. Look at all the receivers out. There are 5 different receivers that are getting out. Plenty of time for Jameis Winston to evaluate that defense. Recognizes the matchup that he likes. Gets the ball to the senior Green there.
First down, the Noles operating with some tempo. Winston, pressure off the edge, looks far side, and the catch is made by Carlos Williams, the running back. Physical runner.
But soft hands. Soft is almost like a receiver. Jimbo, we've talked to him 3 or 4 times this week. He must have brought up how they really hope to be able to throw the ball more to their running backs this year. He brought it up so many times, clearly making a point. Listen, we lost Kelvin Benjamin to the NFL. We lost Kenny Shaw. Veterans, great receivers. So we're early this year. We're going to get our tight ends and our running backs involved in the pass game.
Yeah, Freeman had the feature back roll a year ago. Now it's number 9. Takes the handoff, makes a seam, bangs forward, has a first down about the 37-yard line.
You brought up some of the games from earlier today. And one of the things that we saw, whether it was Ohio State and Navy or West Virginia, they played Alabama, is the team that was the heavy underdog had some success early. This is a big drive for a young Oklahoma State defense and a team to try to get their confidence up. If Florida State forces a 3-and-out and then they go down and score, that is not a good sign for Oklahoma State.
Play action, Winston bootlegging. Another pass. On the far side, down to the running incomplete. Ashton Lampkin was defending on Rashad Green. Last year, Oklahoma State, Kirk, in their opening possession, opponents didn't get anything. One field goal all year, so they were usually a pretty fast-starting defense.
Yeah, they were, but it's a new year and a lot of inexperience. But I will say this, Chris. Lampkin there on 1st and 10 in great position. Looked like it might be a catch, but he didn't give up on it, and he got his hand in there eventually and knocked that ball away.
Second and 10. Williams breaks a tackle in the backfield, a hard-earned 3 yards. Seth Jacobs. Tackle. Those Pokes linebackers better get ready to play a lot tonight. The offensive line missing just one starter from a year ago. Stork replaced by Austin Barron at center.
Austin Barron has made some comments about, you know, a lot of us came in, you can see the seniors across the board. We came in together and we talked about one day playing all as a group. The other 4 have had their chance. Now Barron joins them with Brian Stork moving on to the NFL. And so they're excited to be a group and show that cohesion.
There's a big chance for the Oklahoma State defense. The Noles are not very often in 3rd and long. They need 7. Winston immediately looks to the right, has a man open in the flat. Catch made, first down. It's Kermit Whitfield, who will be used more as a receiver this year.
And he wants to be known more as a receiver than just a return man. It's man-to-man. This is tough ask for any defense because what Jameis Winston does a good job of recognizing is a matchup to his advantage. He's got one of the fastest receivers in the country in Whitfield, matched up against Trey Flowers, a safety, trying to play him man-to-man. Great recognition. Nice job of throwing that ball with accuracy as well.
It's a deflating play for Oklahoma State, for sure. On the sweep, Williams hammered. The ball comes loose and rolls out of bounds. The Noles will keep it, but it'll be a loss.
I think the ground may have caused that. I mean, he went airborne, which is always a no-no for a running back towards the boundary, but I don't think it came out yet until he came down. Ground caused that. Now, why that's important, Chris, is they moved the ball back because the ball rolled back and out of bounds. They might take another peek at this to recognize that he, in fact, was down right there at about the 24-yard line. Right now, the ball is spotted back at about the 28.
So far, no whistle to review it. And the 2-yard loss will stand on first down. Winston on second down, fires short by the tight end, Nick O'Leary. A tight end who can be reliable in short yardage and, of course, get vertical as well.
Yeah, with Rashad Green back as their most experienced receiver, you're going to see more and more of Nick O'Leary, one of the top tight ends in the country, be able to get his chances. They love, especially in this area, because of his size. He really opens up opportunities and is a tough matchup, whether it's a safety or a linebacker that tries to match up with him.
This is safety's turn to make a good tackle. Mario Pender is now the back. The Noles need 3 yards on this third down. Winston again flips it short. A flag is down. Catch is made, but Williams is stopped short of the first down. It's a Pac-12 crew. Land Clark, the referee.
Illegal shift. Offense. Penalties decline. Fourth down.
So they'll take the result of the play, which is a short gain, and set up a 4th and 2. So a decision for Fisher here.
Yeah, and I think Glenn Spencer, the defensive coordinator that time, decided to get out of the man-to-man, play more zone, and his secondary that time is in great position and be able to make the tackle. There's a good look at Glenn. Breaking in a lot of new faces on his side of the football.
I think that in declining the penalty, they hope the Noles will kick a field goal, but right now, the offense is out there.
Oh, here they come.
And now a change, and we will see Roberto Aguayo. It was 23 of 24 last year, 94 of 94 PATs alone. He out outscored 3 teams in FBS.
Regardless of what happens here, unless it's a fake and they give up a first down, this is a win for Oklahoma State's defense.
Of course, inside 40 yards. And Aguayo knocks it right through. Perfect form for a young kicker. But you're right, Kirk, that's a win for the Pokes. They hold Winston and the Noles to just 3.
Working to try to help them, not just in this game, but as they grow this year.
The chance for Tyreek Hill. No, they kick it away from now on the muff. Hill picks it up. Can he get the corner? No, he's dropped inside the 5, and the Noles have been targeting the Oklahoma State speedster all week. Pinning back. Terrence Smith on the tackle.
Whether you're a true freshman or a junior college transfer coming into big-time college football, when this happens and Rowland misjudges the ball, Hill's smart to be able to pick it up, but this is a mistake. This isn't high school or junior college. You try to just get to the corner and outrun. That's Florida State. Florida State's going to cover that kickoff, and they're going to push you back even further when you take that chance to get all the way around them. You just can't do that. Cut your losses, cut up field, and try to get 3 or 4 yards.
It was easier Garden City.
Yeah, a little bit.
So with Rowland in the backfield, Walsh and the Cowboys backed up into danger territory. Takes the snap in his end zone. Play action. Zips it across. Tipped and picked. And the Noles are going to get a pick 6. Nate Andrews spied the route, and a critical mistake for Walsh puts the Cowboys in a hole.
Chris, we had the Noles a number of times last year. Nate Andrews was a true freshman. He led this team in interceptions. He plays safety, but he lines up a lot of times as a linebacker. He is one of the most versatile players that they have. How about the awareness on 1st and 10? Doesn't bite on the play-action fake, knocks the ball up into the air, and then the presence of mind intercepted for the touchdown.
8 defensive touchdowns a year ago. Some guys just have a knack for making plays. Nate Andrews is one of them.
The kid is a playmaker and a tremendous leader for this team. Again,
and
just a sophomore.
It's a nightmare start for Oklahoma State. For a touchdown. 10 very quick points, and now Oklahoma State is in a hole. They knew they had to win the turnover battle. When they win that category, Kirk, they're 33-1 in the last 34. And they lose it, they're usually in trouble. It's Hill again. He'll bring it out. And this time, Tyreek Hill does get a crease. And you see a flash of the speed out near the 40. Much needed field position after the disaster on Walsh's throw.
If you go back to the touchdown and the play here, look at the play action, the option look, but look at the linebackers, Smith and Northrup, taking that away. So it allows Nate Andrews to sit back. And look how he telegraphed the throw. The entire time, he stared at his receiver seals the whole way, and Andrews is freelancing, sitting back because the other 2 linebackers had the option look taken away. So he sits back, reads the eyes, little backyard football, tips it up, and makes a great play. But big turnaround. Maybe the Cowboys take advantage of this return.
And Walsh shake that off. Play action. Short first down throw. Collected by Hill, but they're all over him. No gain. Heather?
You know, Chris, Mike Gundy told his team this week, the last thing I want is a bunch of wide eyes. Yes, we're young, but we're competitors. So it's been interesting to be on the Oklahoma State sideline watching reactions. And despite the mistake, J.W. Walsh remains calm and composed. Looks confident. Certainly that Tyreek Hill run can't hurt, guys.
We're used to seeing Oklahoma and Texas, teams that pass the eye test. The Noles can certainly be physically intimidating. Hill in motion on 2nd and 9, and they get it to him. But there are 2 Noles all over him. Clearly, they expected number 24 to get the ball a lot.
Well, I think they're expecting man-to-man, but it's zone. And when you're playing zone and you throw the ball out in the flat like that, look at this. They've got the ball leveraged. They've got a guy to the outside, Darby, the corner, the inside of the linebacker. Nowhere to go at all for Hill there. But I think they're anticipating man-to-man with a linebacker running out with him. But instead, the Noles sat in zone, and they're in perfect position.
The Cowboys need 11 on this 3rd down. Seminoles bring pressure, and the ball's batted down to the line of scrimmage again.
This is
Mario Edwards back in his home area of Texas, the All-American, got his hand on it, Kirk.
And this is where Florida State's defense can cause any offense big problems because they're so versatile and so creative. That time they didn't even necessarily have to bring the pressure, and the pocket still closed in on the undersized J.W. Walsh.
Edwards, they call him the jack linebacker who'll move around. You have to account for him. Very gifted playmaker. So Kip Smith, a couple of steps to his right, gets a high boot away and drives Rashad Green back to his 10-yard line where he makes a fair catch. If nothing else, the Cowboys tip some field position, but it's a 3-and-out, and it gives Jameis Winston the pass. It's caught! It's caught! A year ago, he was a freshman question mark on an experienced team. Winston firing again on first down. It's caught by Rashad Green, leading receiver over the last 3 years, a guy who's trying to track down a whole bunch of career records at Florida State. The bravado, Kirk, he's kind of a polarizing figure in college football. Not everybody loves the brashness of him.
He says what he thinks, and he backs it up to this point in his career. I mean, he's a guy that I think is very confident, not just in himself, but his teammates and the program and what they're doing at Florida State, and he's not afraid to tell you about it.
He's not. Second and short, they flip it to Williams in the backfield. Gets a block, breaks a tackle, and gets a first down. Ryan Simmons, the bell cow of that defense, brought him down. You know, they were ranked number 11 preseason a year ago, behind the Florida Gators, by the way, because nobody really knew what to expect from number 5.
Yeah, you know, anytime you start a new college football season, you have some players that emerge like we've seen this weekend. Kenny Hill, for example, on Thursday night. So I think a lot of people anticipated he could have a great year, but to go on to have the year that he enjoyed, obviously a big surprise.
High formation, Williams is the tailback.
Here he is checking.
A lot on first down.
Yeah, he's seeing 9 or 10 guys about within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And run left of Williams, and he fights for about a yard.
Interesting check there, and that's something that we talked to him about this week, is we have a little bit more flexibility and freedom, like any quarterback would. You know, after a certain number of starts, you see that with the head coach and the offensive play caller, in this case Jimbo Fisher, feels more comfortable and more confident with the quarterback recognizing certain pressures, certain coverages, allows him to make those checks to the line of scrimmage. That time he saw man and press coverage across the board and decided to run the football.
They go for Houtzell, one of the 2 300-pounders in the middle, and made the tackle. Now Winston trying to buy time. The flag is downfield, and Winston's down to the backfield as Emmanuel Ogbah got him.
Well, that was a coverage sack. We'll have to see what the flag is. Very, very tight coverage from Oklahoma State.
Cowboys looking around like it might have been on defensive backs.
Well, that's where the flag was thrown way back in the secondary.
Young team mistakes.
Defense, number 6. 10-yard penalty results in a first down.
They got the corner. Lampkin, it nullifies a huge loss.
And you know, he's right in front of you here against the top receiver. He's just grabbing onto his left arm, and it's one thing to try to shadow Rashad Green. He's been told that probably for the last month, but that's going a little bit above and beyond, and right in front of the official. And what turned out would have been a sack and good coverage turns out to be a break for Florida State, and they get the automatic first down.
About a 25-yard difference in field position.
New set of downs.
So Leary in motion, and now a whistle. Heather mentioned wide eyes. This is what Gundy was afraid of.
The clock is now correct.
In an opening night game, the kinds of mistakes that you can't afford to make when you take on a number 1 team would happen.
No, you need to catch the breaks early. Mike Gundy prides himself and his team on mental toughness, handling adversity. He's talked a lot about that. That's how he's been able to build his program into a consistent program, is finding kids that have that toughness, what's being tested tonight.
Williams bounces it to the right, but the Cowboys' run defense is doing a good job. They stop him for a loss, working against the most heralded offensive line in the country.
Well, they have their eyes on the football, and they are pursuing the football. That's one thing that Ryan Simmons and Glenn Spencer shared with us. They knew that this is not just about Jameis Winston. It's about gang tackling, gap control, gap integrity, running to the football. And you're right, when the Noles are trying to run, which is a big part of their plan, there isn't a lot of room for them to be able to pick up yards.
And second and long. Winston fires over the middle, complete. And tackled just short of first down yardage is Green.
What you're noticing right now is a lot of the throws are quick throws and crossers and quick slants. We're all waiting to see who becomes the Kelvin Benjamin for this offense. Is it going to be one of the young freshmen? Rashad Green's more of that type of route runner that you just saw. Quick slants, underneath, doing things with the ball after the catch. Somebody eventually is going to have to show that he can go downfield for those 40 and 50-yard passes through the air to keep safeties back and not so close to the line of scrimmage.
When will they take their first deep shot? Third and 2 here.
If they pick up a first down here, maybe it's the next down.
And Leary motions to the left. Williams gets it running right, but he's hit and has to fight hard. He won't get there. And now the ball comes loose. The ball comes loose, scooped up by the Cowboys. The whistle being blown. Oklahoma State thinks they have a turnover, but it's down. No fumble, but no first down. Again, that run defense up to the shore. That was a huge play to stop this momentum and get the ball back.
Yeah, this is not reviewable. Forward progress. He's down. There's nothing you can do to look at this and review it. Once they blow the whistle, he's down. And it looked like he was still moving those legs, but there's nothing you can do to be able to look back at that. These crowds going crazy. They want to take a look at it.
Kevin Peterson, the corner, ripped the ball out of Williams' hands, but once the whistle blows, you're right, absolutely dead. No chance for replay.
But again, going back to your point, how about the run defense? Again, these guys are swarming to the football when Carlos Williams gets his hands on the ball. Only 7 yards rushing. It's early, but only 7 yards rushing so far for Florida State. And if you're not familiar with Florida State, it's not just about Jameis Winston and throwing. They want balance. They want to be able to run the ball.
Jason Beatty pointing. Let's see if Tyreek Hill can get a look at a punt return. It's kind of a low kick. Hill grabs it, makes a cut, gets the corner again, and Tyreek Hill scoots, still running out near midfield. You can see why this guy has electrified camp. When he gets the ball in practice, all his teammates pay attention.
You know what? You hear about a guy with track speed and is a track star. You wonder if he's a football player. This kid is a football player. And he learned from his last time where he tried to just go instantly to the outside. This time he made his move up to the middle and then bounced it to the outside with that speed, and we got a flag down.
Yeah. Well, Cruz going to talk it over. Earlier, the Oklahoma State team was given a sideline warning. Next time it'll cost him a flag.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Oklahoma State. A 15-yard penalty. It will be first and 10.
So an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty flagged against Gundy. Or his team anyway.
Well, the sideline warning in the previous play, and it takes away a big return and maybe a change in momentum from Tyreek Hill. The little things. If you want to try to mess around with #1 team in the country, you can't have things like that happen. You can't throw a pick six. You can't lose the turnover margin. But their defense, by the way, they came to play tonight. They've only given up the 3 points so far in this first quarter.
Gundy's still awaiting an explanation of what the penalty was about as Walsh goes back to work at the 32. Hands left, and it's Childs dropped for a loss.
Chris, until J.W. Walsh does anything at all in this passing game, this is what he's going to face. This defense is in a sprint. It's nothing against the offensive line. By the time they look up and come out of their stance, you've got linebackers like this, like Terrence Smith, running downhill to try to tackle the running back. They've got to do something in the passing game to slow down this aggressive Florida State defense.
Childs again does break a tackle and bulldozes ahead for about 5 yards. Childs has added perhaps 15 pounds of muscle this year. He's a sophomore from Houston. And he trots out. We'll see Rowland come back in the game.
Oklahoma State still trying to get their first down of the ball game. This first quarter is close to being over. We're still trying to see the Pokes get a first down.
They need 5 yards on third down. Walsh against four-man pressure. Flips it short. This is Hill. Gives a little move and has a first down as he darts into Seminole territory before Marquez White drops him.
Well, now you see tempo. This is what Mike Gundy wants. This is a big part of their offense. You get a first down right away. You get the ball down from the umpire. They're ready to snap the ball. This is what they wanted to do to the Florida State defense.
And blow the whistle. Was everything quite set there? You got to get a first down to run tempo. Any up-tempo coach will tell you that, and they finally got one late in the quarter.
I mean, he was ready to snap the ball before the umpire put the ball down. Got 12 men on the field.
12 men in the formation.
They tried to...
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
This is the first team that ran up-tempo in this conference, and they do it very well, as fast as anybody.
And Oklahoma State did not substitute, so when the ball is placed down on the ground, Walsh is ready to go, and if you try to sneak in a substitution from Florida State, that's where they got caught that time.
So 1st and 5.
Man free.
And Walsh will take a shot down the sideline to Juwan Seals. Incomplete. And now a flag after the play. And the Oklahoma State fans say it's about time.
And Nate Andrews that time, a little bit of jawing after the hit. That's why you're going to get the dead ball personal foul, which will be 15 yards after the incompletion.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 29.
So Andrews had made the pick 6.
Watch Seals get away with his push-off right there. He gets away with that. Andrews comes over, separates him from the football, then comes up and gives him a little bit, and that's where the flag came in right after that.
Incomplete sign. Is that a penalty in your mind?
Depends on which crew and which conference we're playing with.
It's a Pac-12 crew. You don't think in the SEC, for example,
that's every play. Oh, that's every play in the SEC.
But it moves the ball to 28.
That was surprising.
Rolling to the right of Walsh. Quarterback keeps it, flips it short. Very short gain, getting hammered is Jeremy Seaton, the tight end. B.J. Williams, the would-be All-American corner, up to make the stop.
Of Oklahoma State, they've got that first down, and it just seemed to ignite them as far as not just the tempo, but all of a sudden the Florida State defense, they're looking over the sideline, they're trying to get the call, creates the confusion, not just with the tempo, but the different looks in the backfield and the formations that they're using.
Rowland takes the handoff, hammered immediately. Right at the line of scrimmage by Reggie Northrup, middle linebacker.
That's the deep end of the pool tonight, boys. I mean, you run into the middle of that defense, I mean, you better be ready to play. Desmond Rowland is a physical back in the Big 12. He runs over people, but he's going up against these inside linebackers that, again, they have their ears pinned back, and they are locked in on number 26 in the middle of that offensive line.
So they need 8. On 3rd down. Marginal field goal range. Walsh underthrows his man. Would have been short of a first down anyway. Could not get the ball to David Glidden, and Terrence Smith pressured him.
That's right, Chris. Terrence Smith is an inside linebacker, but this time on 3rd down, they walked him out here, and they brought the pressure. And I watched J.W. Walsh. He comes off of play action, and then he has to try to throw right over top of the middle linebacker, Terrence Smith. Again, they get you to 3rd down, they change up their looks, and they blitz you, just trying to see if they can catch you off guard. That time they snuck one in that time on J.W. Walsh.
Ben Grogan back in his hometown of Arlington. This would be a career long. He made 2 last year of 41. This is from 42. Drifting. Hooked it. No good. So Oklahoma State finally gets a first down late in the first quarter, but with 4 seconds to go, can't produce points.
That was a big opportunity that Oklahoma State missed out on. They caught the break with the penalty on Nate Andrews. Weren't able to get in deep into territory.
Just hooked it a little bit.
And not the way he really wanted to start his season after Ben Grogan went 11 of 18 a year ago.
I believe he's improved. Place kicking sort of a problem last year for the Pokes. So the final play of the first quarter, Winston drops back, and he will finally take a shot. Has a man wide open. Complete to Christian Green, who's tracked down inside the 15. We waited for the first deep shot, and we get it as the first quarter ends.
Well, we wanted to see who would be his guy. Who's going to get the ball downfield in this offense, not just tonight, but this year. Green goes right by the defense. Remember, they've thrown everything underneath. Quick slants, crossing routes, rub routes, throwing to the back, throwing to the tight end. The safety's got lulled to sleep with the same looks underneath, and Green went right by him for the big play for the Florida State offense.
62 yards sets up the Noles, who lead 10-0. That's the end of the first quarter. But Arlington back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Begins with the Noles in scoring position at the 13-yard line. Play action, and they flip it off in the flat, incomplete. Freddie Stevenson, the fullback, couldn't hold it. Now, Christian Green, by the way, his career long was 22 yards. That one was 40 yards longer. He's a senior, and Rashad Green gave him a message. Hey, listen, this is your last year. It's time, Christian, to step up and have a year.
No doubt.
Got to a good start.
Well, and not only that, we've talked quite a bit tonight about the two losses that they had out on the outside with Benjamin and Shaw now no longer part of this team. So it is his time, and he stepped up there and made a heck of a play.
They lost 21 touchdown catches between those two guys. There's a slant, zipped incomplete. So Jameis has already thrown more incompletions tonight than he did all of last year's opener. Tough to replace Benjamin, who could go out and be a physical presence in the red zone on those fade routes, and Kenny Shaw very reliable.
And not just the numbers, it was what they brought and how they complemented Rashawn Green. They were able to get down the field and prevented defenses from crowding the line of scrimmage, and that's a big part of what they want to do. And whether it's Christian Green stepping into that role or Travis Rudolph, some of these younger receivers, they're going to have to find that this year.
Rudolph, the freshman, is in the slot to the right on 3rd and 10. Play clock at 3. Winston delivers a dart over the middle, but it's picked off. Seth Jacobs, the linebacker, tipped it and picked it. And so Jameis Winston caught looking over the middle, throws the interception, of the Cowboys defense doing its part to hang in this game.
And Seth Jacobs here, Chris, does a heck of a job of, again, reading the eyes of Jameis Winston. We saw it earlier when Nate Andrews did the same thing to J.W. Walsh. This time you're going to see him sit right here and watch how he just sits back and bounces from left to right. And all he's doing is looking into the eyes of Jameis Winston. Winston led him right into position to be able to make that play. That's a heck of an athletic play by Jacobs, the sophomore, to go up and knock that ball down. Second time we've seen a great play by a linebacker.
Jameis jumps in there to the pile here. He takes a little shot to the face mask.
I think Glenn Spencer's the only guy fired up more than the players. Look at him. He's excited. That's a big, big stop for the Cowboys here.
They feel like Jacobs is crucial to their success. Needs to have a coming-out year at linebacker. So we'll see if Walsh and the Cowboys offense can do something. It's rolling. They try to hammer straight ahead, Kirk. You just get 2.
And it's tough sledding up there. Remember, what we saw the last drive, Chris, they were able to have a little bit of success running the ball. They hit a pass. They got a first down, and then right away up to the line of scrimmage. Their goal tonight is create confusion for Florida State. It's hard to create confusion on 1st and 10 and 2nd and 9 and 3rd and 7. They've got to have a little bit more success on 1st and 10 to try to get these Noles confused looking over to their sideline.
Rolling in motion on 2nd and 8. Walsh takes off. Jay Levenberry stopped him. He's a good runner. They say he's been clocked at 4.6. Do you buy it?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him play when he was in high school. We've obviously seen him play early in his career when he and Clint Shelf went back and forth. He's going to need that speed tonight, obviously. He's a coach's son. He played for his dad.
Never been the guy before. He's played significantly last year and 2 years ago. Now he's got the job. But can he get the 4 yards? Last time, tries to scamper, dives for the marker, and does get the first down. You saw some acceleration there.
Yeah, that's what he brings. Now watch, they're going to get to the line of scrimmage fast. I mean, they've been schooled.
No fumble, by the way.
No, he's down. He's down. As soon as he gets that first down, right to the line of scrimmage. But that gives you an idea of who he is. The quickness, the acceleration. Again, I'm going to repeat, he's a coach's son, played for his dad in high school, got to a state championship in the state of Texas. That tells you about who he is and what kind of grit and determination he has. He's a great leader. They're the guy on this team that doesn't look up and respect number 4 for Oklahoma State.
Gundy says it seems like Walsh has been there for 10 years. And finally has the starting job to himself. Rolling. Not much. Leatherberry just again there to meet the ball carrier. Heather?
Well, guys, we just heard what Herbie thought of Walsh. I had a chance to talk to Brandon Whedon, who is a former Oklahoma State quarterback, now with the Cowboys, knows J.W. Walsh extremely well, and he agrees with you, Kirk. They played 2 years together. Brandon said one of the hardest working guys I've been around, and in fact, even admitted he outlifted me, he outran me, best work ethic on the entire team, and that he's extremely mature and handles adversity well.
Heather, that goes a long way, getting that respect from his teammates.
Rolling the short game. He'd like to have Brandon Whedon's arm. They've changed the offense, though, since he moved on.
Yeah, it's almost like they're determined to run up the middle just to make Florida State's defense respect it, to set up other parts of their offense. They're clearly not having any success running up the middle. And the reason they continue to go to that is because they want to eventually set up the play action and other areas and aspects of their offense later in this game.
But they face another 3rd and long. 7. The Noles are showing pressure, and they bring a lot of it. And Walsh escapes. Turns the corner, dances to the sideline, but stops short of the 3rd down. The Noles really bringing it. P.J. Williams got there.
P.J. Williams comes from his right. They bring the corner blitz. Again, 3rd down. The Noles are going to bring the pressure. But how about the toughness here? Great job of keeping the play alive. But I'll tell you what, Charles Kelly steps in for Jeremy Pruitt. I'm so impressed early in this game with the Noles' discipline, the way they're playing. They're not out of control with their speed. They're staying home. They're playing smart. Their eyes are where they need to be. They're not giving up any cheap plays. That's a great job that time.
Cowboys can't convert the interception into points. Kip Smith back to punt. It's a low boot, but it drives Rashad Green back to his 10. Good coverage. Cowboys get there early, but Green gets away. A flag flies as he brings it out to the 23-yard line.
Jared Hagan's the wide receiver on special teams, and had a block in the back there, number 12.
And Scooter, it's going to be a teaching moment for him. Wasn't going to be great field position. Now it'll get a lot worse. Another look at Higgins here. On the left of your screen. Just a little nudge.
That's right there. Down the right.
During the return, there are 2 fouls by the same player. Illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 12. The first one is declined. Illegal block in the back again, number 12. Half the distance to the ball.
Oh, you're talking about a rough outing. I don't know if I've ever seen 2.
He didn't get his money's worth the first time. That's a first. You're watching Saturday Night Football for 2 illegal blocks in the back on 1 return. We can only see 1.
We looked about 15 different camera angles. We've got his back. Jared was one block in the back, not 2 for sure. Unless he hit one on the sideline.
1 was enough to back up Winston, who comes out throwing on first down. A dangerous throw as Kevin Peterson, the fine corner, was right there. To Robert Flores with an update.
All right, Chris, Taco Bell studio update. Georgia's Todd Gurley is so dominant right now that Drake is trying to get in touch with him badly. Todd Gurley, 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, including a 100-yard kickoff return. Dogs rolling over Clemson.
He had a monster game against the Tigers last year before he injured himself in a 75-yard touchdown run. The handoff left side.
Chris, before we threw it to Robert there, Peterson almost came up with an interception. The reason is, other than the deep throw to Christian Green, as we've said a lot in this first half, a lot of Jameis Winston's throws, especially to Rashad Green, number 80, have been quick throws, 5 and 8 yards deep. Peterson's enough of a veteran to start to sense that. He's starting to jump routes. When you start to jump routes, that's when you're going to start to get double moved, where you do a little hitch and go, a little out and up. Eventually, they're going to try to go after him and his aggressive attitude that he has right now.
Jameis has missed 4 in a row after starting 9 for 10. Good protection on 3rd down. Finds O'Leary over the middle, and he does does have a first down at the 24. The reliable target. He still goes old school and will not put those receiving gloves on.
Or the wristband, but he does sit perfectly right in the hole of that zone. You get that opened up perfectly. A beautiful view from our guys. Jameis Winston that time a little bit more in rhythm. But when he's in rhythm, one of his greatest strengths is his accuracy. That time he was in rhythm, and he loves to throw to Nick O'Leary on third down.
Williams set up behind Winston. And they pitch it far side. And Whitfield makes the catch but loses a yard. Kirk, you ready for the first
Yeah, let's do it.
Affleck trivia question? It's ruled incomplete, by the way. The last defending national champion to lose its opening game the following season. Thinking?
Yeah.
I know
I'm
the
just
only
going-
preseason #1 to be shut out in their opener was Florida State.
That's a tough one.
Winston fires into traffic, but the catch is made by Rashad Green. Another reliable target. Beat Kevin Peterson across the middle.
This is starting to become a really fun matchup to watch. One of the top wide receivers, Rashad Green, against a very, very good corner in Kevin Peterson. Another underneath route. Another quick throw from Winston to his favorite target, Rashad Green. And there's #1 again. That's why he's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. He's got to do a better job of trying to take away those short routes, and that's, again, why we're seeing him try to jump some of the routes. Look at him at the bottom, how he's trying to take away the cushion and try to jam him at the line.
On play action, another first down throw. Winston takes a shot down the field. Has a man. It's caught. Green. With nothing but Green in front of him, and now he's bumped out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Just talked about how Green is trying to jump these routes. So this time, instead of the quick slant, he's just going to continue to extend it. Great job of protection. Peterson takes the chance there, Chris. Instead of playing it safe and maybe trying to knock the ball away or trying to make the tackle, he tries to get in front and make an interception. And once you do that and the ball goes by you, there's no one left there to make a play.
Knowles back in the red zone where they've got just a field goal in 2 trips. On play action, they flip it to O'Leary on first down, and he muscles for another first down inside the 10-yard line. Jordan Stearns knocked him down. A lot of first down throws for the Knowles offense tonight.
It's a greatest time for Jameis Winston to throw the football with a little bit of tempo, play action on 1st and 10. Even when they're not able to really establish their running game, it's the variety and the different looks. That time of a naked going the other way and finding his H-back tight end there, Nick O'Leary.
They spotted him back, so it's second and very short. Mario Pender in the backfield looking for his long-awaited first career carry. And the hyped running back takes off, darts to the middle, hammers to the goal line. Touchdown, Florida State. Nice way to debut after waiting a long time to see the field.
I know there are a lot of Florida State fans here in Arlington and back home in Tallahassee and around the state of Florida that have been waiting to see number 7 get his hands on the ball. We've heard about his acceleration. We've heard about his speed. This gives you an idea also about his toughness because he got met right at about the 1-yard line and ran right over top of the safety and into the end zone.
Comes out of Cape Coral, Florida, redshirted in 2012. Thought he was going to be eligible last year. The verdict came down at the last second. He sat out. He has waited forever for that moment, and his first carry is a touchdown.
Welcome aboard, son. Not bad. First touch, a touchdown.
Maguire adds the extra point, and finally the Knowles find the end zone in their 3rd red zone trip, and they stretch the lead. The reigning national champs up 17-0 on the Cowboys. First offensive touchdown of the night.
Zone control room. Crystal clear, by the way.
So the Seminoles march 94 yards in 8 plays, 255. Mario Pender with his first career carry muscles into the end zone. And Tyreek Hill pushed deep into the end zone, thought about it for a second, but he'll take a knee. All right, the last defending national champion to lose its opening game the following season. This is, if I'm right, it's a rivalry game. Game day was there. We were there.
Okay.
It involved the Wolverines' visit to South Bend.
Wow.
Tom
Going
Brady was
way
the
back.
quarterback.
Okay.
Came in ranked number 5 and lost 36-20. Is that what the Irish fans Did they get on you for that one?
Oh, I'm sure. Well, that doesn't
No, I thought that's the one they were demanding that you say you're sorry for picking the wrong one.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that sounds about right. 1998. Yep.
Tyreek Hill running wide. Just looking for a chance to flash the speed, but Tyler Hunter knocked him out.
This gives you an idea of what kind of night it's been for Oklahoma State. They've had some chances, but the punt after a 3-and-out interception, a punt, the last couple drives, at least they've been able to put together something, pick up a few first downs. You can see the missed field goal really hurt them, and they've had some decent field position the last couple drives, but now down 17. We'll see what J.W. Walsh has for us.
It's getting to the point where just putting together a first down or two is not going to be good enough. They're going to have to try to get some points. And Hill, he's working hard tonight. Forget 15 or 20 touches. He's going to have a lot more than that at this rate. Hunter and Darby combining on the stop.
He's got such a burst. I mean, this is the fastest defense in college football that we're watching. And, you know, he makes one cut and bounces it. And if you don't take the right angle, he's gone.
He gets it again. And short gain this time.
Mike Gundy sticking to his guns with his play calling. How he's trying to attack the Noles. You know, you're sitting at home, you're wondering, what are they doing? They're down 17. Why aren't they airing it out? They're not going to panic. That's just not in their DNA. They're going to stick to what they know and the confidence that they have in the system and what they've been practicing the last 3 weeks.
Defense, too, Kirk.
Yeah, exactly. It's a corner blitz.
One fake. Walsh changed, retreating, fires complete. Catch made and trying to fight near a first down. He doesn't even get the yardage.
Tell you what, that is a heck of a job to take away the negative play, and instead of just throwing it away, shows his athletic ability. P.J. Williams, one of the top corners in the country, chasing him. He gets leveled there at the end of the play by Walker, but still is able to give them a good chance to convert now on third down because of the way he's able to escape by time and make that throw.
Just 2 of 6 on third down, but they need just 2 yards, and Rollins in the crowded backfield. Hill, not sure of the formation, now motion out wide. And now comes back in motion. Watch for the handoff here, and they get the whistle.
Yeah, Mike Gundy had to call a timeout.
Yeah, some confusion, I think, for the young junior college transfer there.
Timeout. Oklahoma State. They're first of the half.
So, timeout to talk about it. A crucial third down coming up for Cowboys. Company come up with the Cowboys desperately need this 2 yards on third down near midfield.
And they wanted the jet sweep with the motion, obviously, with the sweep to Hill, but that play is now not an option for him.
3 receivers rolling to the left of Walsh. Gets it up the middle. This time, some success running at the heart of the Noles defense, and they get a first down to the 49. Now Lawrence Stample the tackle.
And it's the first time we've seen Roland pop through the other side of the line, and he ran right over a big defensive lineman that time, Lawrence Stample, to be able to pick it up. And that gives you an idea. Lawrence Stample's 315 pounds, and he ran right over top of him to get the first down.
Walsh takes a shot downfield for the first time tonight, and a flag comes in.
It's a wheel route from the back, sliding him out of the backfield. Desmond Roland. He's, tell you, great coverage by Terrence Smith. Maybe he was
Holding. Defense, number 26. A 10-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Yeah, Terrence Smith ran with the wheel route. That was not the call. They said 26. P.J. Williams, who went with the middle, he looked like he was getting pretty physical with the hold. But Terrence Smith made a pretty good play that time running with the wheel route. That's coming all the way to the left there on the inside.
Yeah, there's not
crossing route. No, Smith made good coverage there.
Moves the ball to the 39, and Tyreek Hill back in on the first down, and he gets it. Bounces it right, gets the corner. Tyreek Hill scoots for a nice gain on first down before Smith forced him out.
Some positive yards on 1st and 10, and it's because of the speed. There was nothing there. He bounced that to the outside. That play was completely taken away, and because of his speed and acceleration, he found a little bit of an opening to the outside, and again, is able to get those yards.
You can see why everybody wanted Hill at the junior college.
Yeah.
This time they fake it to him. Walsh wants to take a shot downfield, throws it into coverage. almost caught and then almost intercepted. Brandon Shepard was there, but so was Ronald Darby. Ball hung up a little bit, Kurt.
It's something that J.W. Walsh has a bit of a history of doing this, and eventually his receiver, Shepard, gets there, but you had two Florida State defenders. Darby, the corner, is sitting there. Hunter, the safety, very, very fortunate. He just kind of puts the ball up there and hopes that his guy makes the play. Meanwhile, he's fortunate to be able to have that ball hit the turf.
Shepard could have made the play.
Oh, yeah. Darby looked like he was getting ready to call a fair catch on a punt.
3rd and 5. Hill to the right of Walsh. He drops straight back. Gets good protection. Fires over the middle. And Tyreek scoots free. The sprinter down to the 11-yard line. Darby tracks him down, but he's starting to get loose.
Great call. Watch him sneak out of the backfield. Outstanding call by Mike Gundy here to get him matched up underneath against the linebacker. They're going quick here, trying to get the ball. They're going to catch the Noles again with 12 men on the field.
Sometimes, rather than change the personnel.
Violation of the substitution rule. By rule, the defense is allowed to match an offensive substitution. First down.
If you're confused there, Oklahoma State ran a guy on the field and off the field substitution. And when you do that, umpire is going to give the defense ample amount of time to be able to substitute themselves.
Typically, Gundy likes to keep the personnel on the field, not slow things down to change personnel.
Yeah.
But he gets rolling in the game. Walsh keeps it and dances for a short gain.
The more I'm watching Tyreek Hill, I told you this when we went over their practice on Thursday, he looks so much like Kendall Hunter in this uniform. Kendall Hunter, a great player for the Cowboys for many years. He has that same kind of acceleration. And actually, for a track man, he runs, he lowers his shoulder, and he is tough.
Maybe more versatile than Hunter. Was basically a running back.
Yeah.
Rolling in the game. And 2nd and 7. Takes it. Makes the cut. Desmond Rowland lowers his head down near the goal line. No. He stopped at the 1-yard line, but it should be a 1st and goal for the Cowboys, who still want to play fast now.
Yeah, they should move the Florida State defense back. They got him tired right now.
Rowland takes it and just goes into the end zone standing up. Couple of crucial plays, conversions on that drive, and a much-needed touchdown for the Pokes.
That is an 11-play, 75-yard drive. And if you wonder what Oklahoma State thought they'd have to do to be able to play and compete with Florida State, that drive is an example of what Mike Gundy had hoped for. Pick up a few first downs, convert, get the Noles tired, get them confused, have them looking over the sideline, hand on their hips. It's exactly what they were able to do that time with the tempo, going 11 plays and 75 yards.
Rogan adds on the PAT. Defensive holding penalty helped. It was a lot of Tyreek Hill, and it was Desmond Rowland finishing it off. The senior running back who had 13 scores a year ago bulldozes in. And the Cowboys back in the ballgame. And college football presented by Capital One, Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So the Pokes, long march to find the end zone and cut the lead to 10 inside of 4 minutes before halftime. This is Kermit Whitfield, who drops it and now will take a knee in the end zone. And Winston back to work at the 20. This week's preseason top 10 brought to you by AT&T. Alabama held on, won by 10. Oklahoma winning big as expected. Of course, Thursday night, the Aggies went to Columbia and beat up on the Gamecocks.
Auburn, a little bit of a scare early, was able to pull away from Arkansas. Ohio State
at one point. Yeah.
Ohio State, same thing. A struggle with Navy, and then they pulled away. UCLA lucky to get out of Charlottesville with a win.
If you were doing your ballot, would you readjust? I mean, UCLA, a lot of hype coming in. It was all about defensive scores in that game.
Well, that's part of the bonus package tonight. I get to give my first week Final Four, my top 4 at the end of the night. Look forward to that, I can tell you.
It's Bender who had the touchdown run, but Winston fakes to him and tries to find the edge. Puts it very short. Catch made, and Green trying to evade tacklers to the 34-yard line. To Robert Flores.
All right, Chris, inside the headset, courtesy AT&T, and a good call here by Wisconsin's Gary Anderson. 45-yard touchdown run from Reggie Love. Wisconsin takes the opening kickoff. They go 6 plays, 76 yards. They lead LSU 7-0 early in Houston.
Another big game down the road in Texas, Robert. How do you do? It'd be enormous for the Big Ten if they could go to all that purple and gold inside Houston and come out with a win. Hit in the backfield is Winston. Ogba got him, and this time no flag to nullify the sack. A huge hit on the quarterback.
Boy, this sophomore is a big-time, powerful player. Comes off of the edge. Look at his quickness, Chris. 6'4", 270 pounds. This guy makes a lot of plays, and I think they're starting to get comfortable with what they're trying to do up front, and the confidence may be growing a little bit after that touchdown from their own offense. But, boy, that was a slow play and developing for Florida State, and maybe they underestimated the quickness and speed off the edge of Ogba. That was a big play.
Counting on him to be a pass rusher. He had 4 sacks last year. That sets it back to 3rd and 9 for Winston. Steps up in the pocket, delivers over the middle, incomplete. Knowles wanted a flag, there isn't one.
Ashton Lampkin came around Rashad Green. I think he got away with a little bit of a hook. Got there a little bit prematurely, and that's why Jameis Winston's fired up. It wasn't necessarily with the left arm. He got around him with the left arm, but watch the right arm. The right arm hooks along the kind of his waist. The left arm came around, which was fine, but I thought his right arm hooked Rashad Green.
Instead, Cowboys defense does its job. And Hill perhaps a chance to create field position and get some more points before halftime. Play clock down at 2 as they snap it. And Beatty boots it low. Fair catch by Hill.
This is part of the game. Sometimes the calls go your way, sometimes they go against. But what I saw was his right arm hooking him right there. See how he made contact? The left arm and left hand's fine. But hey, it's part of the game.
It's a little marginal.
Yeah, well, it really wasn't. But that's
From a
okay.
defensive perspective.
That's okay. I mean, sometimes calls go your way, sometimes they go against you. You play ball. That's how you're taught as a player, as a coach. And now Oklahoma State, they get the ball back, force a 3 and out after a touchdown. 2:26 to go in the first half, and all of a sudden you're saying, I got a chance with Oklahoma State.
Hill featured in the last drive. Ran 4 times and made a big catch, and now they'll swing it to him on first down. Hill makes a cut. A solid tackle, short gain.
This play by Jalen Ramsey out in that right flat. Again, he is looked to become that leader of this secondary.
Freshman All-American changed to number 8 this year. He was 13 a year ago. Now ticking down to 2 minutes. This time they swing out Hill to the left, and Walsh just keeps it, but not much there. Does get out of bounds, but it'll be 3rd and medium.
And they're trying to, at that time, use Tyreek Hill as a decoy. You notice they're motioning a lot. They start with a 2-back formation with a lot of times Tyreek Hill and Desmond Rowland. And right before he snaps the ball, he'll motion Tyreek Hill out, trying to catch the eyes of the defense. He motioned to the left that time and then ran to the right and followed the fullback, Jeremy Seaton, but Knowles were ready for it.
Hill comes out of the game, replaced by Rowland on 3rd and 6. Knowles, don't pressure, and Walsh has time, almost intercepted right in the hands of Tyler Hunter, but he couldn't hold it.
I think Tyler Hunter must have gotten just too excited. This is as a safety, this is what you hope for and dream about, is to be able to have a ball that's missed and poorly thrown, and it comes right into the hands, just waiting for you to make that play. I don't know if he's thinking about which way he's going to run with it after he made the catch. Hunter's the player who started the first 3 games last year for the Noles on their championship run, had a neck injury, and was taken out for the entire year. So he's very anxious to make his mark this year for the Noles.
You would say, the receiver screamed me off, Coach.
Yeah, of course.
So the Cowboys can't add their total and get into the lead before halftime. Kip Smith punts it away. Fair catch made by Green at the 16. Celebrating its 10th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, All-State makes contributions to the participating university's general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kicked. Since 2005, All-State has contributed more than $3.4 million in scholarship funds. Owls do, Kirk. They got a minute 40 to work with, a 10-point lead. Add the lead or sort of sit on it.
No. You're gonna try to attack. You've got the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. You want to go in with some confidence, and you've got some great receivers, great backs. I'd be surprised if he just pulls it in. I think he gives Jameis Winston a chance to try to get some more points.
And hand it to Williams, who gets a couple over the left side.
Now, all 3 timeouts. One of the best field goal kickers, if not the best in the country.
They'll get the ball to start the second half. That may factor into the decision making. So far, they don't seem in a real hurry.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the clock running down. Unless they try to cross out the Cowboys and take a shot.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's got to be pretty happy about this if this is the choice that they make to work the clock. Just run out the clock.
And milking the play clock down to 5. And you just hand it off to Pender. He gets away. Mario Pender takes a big hit, does get a first down, so they can get a clock stoppage. Jordan Stearns and Lampkin combining with just 48 seconds to go.
I'll tell you what, Pender's been waiting for 2 years to get his chance to run with the football. He's gonna be a handful. Even though he's undersized, he lowers his shoulder to 195 pounds, and those Cowboys safeties know they better be ready to hit it.
And Winston will drop back. Gets away, fires near sidelines. A dangerous throw, and it's intercepted. Ashton Lampkin took it away in Seminole territory with 29 seconds to go. 2 picks in the first half for the Heisman winner.
Yeah, and he that time he takes a chance. He got pressure. He should know better than make this throw. He should just throw it away. He's got Green coming back, but look, the corner's just sitting on it. He's not going. He's not backpedaling. He's just sitting on him, reading the eyes and the energy of Jameis Winston. As soon as he started to wind up to make that throw, Lampkin jumps it, and what a sensational catch by Lampkin that time. All hands, extends his body towards the sideline, and makes a heck of a play.
I think he's excited. He's back here in Arlington, Texas, and 2 interceptions. Kirk ties a career high for him.
And that's where you wonder if they got the first down with the run, and all of a sudden they start to think, you know what, let's maybe take a chance to get some points. Did he get a little bit greedy that time, trying to make something happen?
2 timeouts for Gundy to work with in 29 seconds. As Walsh drops back, heaves it over the middle, high and incomplete. I'm trying to find James Washington, a young receiver. DeMarcus Walker pressured him.
Florida State's played man-free on a lot of snaps in his first half, and just challenging this group of wide receivers from Oklahoma State, and challenging J.W. Walsh to try to see if he can find an open man downfield. Locked up in man coverage again.
Walsh, good protection, fires over the middle, complete. First down at the 35-yard line. Juwan Seals has it. 18 seconds to go. The clock will start soon.
He's talking about fire. He's giving the fire. Just fire the ball right into the turf. State trying to save his 2 timeouts.
And now a flag comes in. This would be enormous for the Cowboys if they could get 3 points out of this. They're moving toward Grogan's field goal range, but not there yet.
How about the offensive line giving Walsh some time here in these first couple plays?
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, unnecessary conduct, defense, number 90.
That is a crushing penalty. Now they are in field goal range. Eddie Goldman of
And now you have 2 timeouts. You're already in field goal range. Now you got to be smart. This is where the experience of J.W. Walsh has to come into play. Remembering how many timeouts you have left. Already have a shot at a field goal. Now you try to take a shot, try to sneak one in, see if you can get a touchdown before you take a chance at a field goal. Looks like Mike Gundy's going to already use one of his timeouts right here.
He has 2 of them. Take one just to get the team settled. I know they're in field goal range, but Grogan hasn't been all that reliable. From here, it'll be a 37-yarder. They'd like to get or perhaps take a shot at the touchdown.
How about a couple of mental errors here towards the end of the first half from Florida State and a couple of experienced players. Number one, Jameis Winston, where he forces a throw in there and takes a chance. And then from a big stud, Eddie Goldman, smacking the Oklahoma State player right in the face for a 15-yard penalty. And now all of a sudden you got the Cowboys that moved in position for a shot at a field goal, maybe a shot to take a throw into the end zone.
In his great season, Winston was kind of a gambler. He would trust his great wide receivers. He said this year was going to be more conservative, just take what was there. Didn't do it that time.
No, he didn't. And it's human nature, I think, to want to try to believe in yourself, believe in Rashad Green. It's another thing that you got to be smart, especially late in the first half. Now there's confusion, and now Florida State wants a timeout.
They have 3 to spend, but out of the timeout. Knowles didn't like something they looked. Here's what Eddie Goldman did to deserve that flag.
And it happened, right as they were firing the ball into the ground. Lock in on him here.
Oh, head slap there.
That's just a mental error. Chris, with 2 safeties back here, it's going to be hard to get the ball thrown to the outside. You may want to take a shot into the middle of that Florida State defense.
They have that one timeout to work with if they caught short of the goal line. Walsh hands it off to Rowland, who gets nothing, and they'll have to burn their last timeout. Lawrence Stample throwing the running back down, and they'll settle for a field goal attempt. What about that? They don't show a ton of trust in Walsh to kind of get it closer, and this is not a sure thing, this field goal.
No, it's been a struggle. We mentioned earlier that Ben Grogan was 11 of 18 a year ago. Came out tonight with his first attempt and missed it.
That was from 42. This will be a little bit closer. But still, if they could get 3 points out of this, it was a 17-0 deficit. They'd given up a defensive score by Florida State. They couldn't get a first down. They'll take that, to say the least,
well,
down 7 at halftime.
And again, Jameis Winston throws the interception. They start this drive at the Florida State 49-yard line. You throw in the 15-yard penalty from Eddie Goldman, and that's what's gotten them into this position, at least have a chance at 3 points to cut this to a 7-point lead.
So again, Grogan in his hometown, this time from 37 to make it a 7-point game at halftime. Knocks it right through. So the mistake by the Heisman quarterback and the penalty by the defensive lineman basically gifting the Cowboys a field goal.
With the way this game started, 10-0 Florida State, it just felt like, oh boy, Oklahoma 10 defenders. And they have played the way they have against Jameis Winston and the speed that Winston has around him. Glenn Spencer, the defensive coordinator, deserves a lot of credit. They've been attacking. They're not respecting Winston's offense, throwing the ball downfield. So they've crowded that line of scrimmage. They've taken away the running game of Carlos Williams. And they've gotten Winston into some obvious passing situations.
This is Kermit Whitfield. Spins away, but is finally dropped at the 25. And Jameis Winston goes back to work. The Pacific Life game summary will reflect some of the struggles of Jameis in that second quarter, Kirk. He was just 5 of 12, picked a couple times, sacked by Agba.
Yeah, and I think the numbers here speak for themselves. That 27 yards rushing is a big night the Florida State offensive line has had. They were supposed to have their way with this inexperienced defense from Oklahoma State. Remember, though, for Oklahoma State, the one thing they felt great about coming into this game was the depth and the talent of their defensive line. And those boys played great in the second quarter. In fact, you give them the advantage now coming into the second half up front.
Williams run of the second half. Seth Jacobs and Agba stop him. The 2 big pass plays, Kirk, 62 yards and 51 yards. Deep down the middle of Christian Green and Rashad Green. That was about it for Winston.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a big opening drive to start this second half. This is still just a one-score game. And Florida State needs to establish something here to be able to try to get this game headed in the direction they want.
Winston fires near side, making the catch as Whitfield has a first down. Heather?
Hey, Chris, Jimbo Fisher was very upbeat in the locker room, but he did make plenty of adjustments. Most of them having to do with the run game. Very frustrated at just 27 rushing yards in the first half. They certainly want to get that going to have a more balanced attack. As for Oklahoma State, Tyreek Hill did go into the locker room during their last drive of the first half. He's got cramps. They're working on him to keep him in.
Winston takes a shot downfield. In comes an interference flag. Ashton Lampkin was defending, and that's an easy call for this Pac-12 crew. Rashad Green, the intended receiver.
Jimbo Fisher telling Heather the same thing that I think all of us are watching. They need balance.
Pass interference. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty. An automatic first down.
And Lampkin was beaten here. Green went right by him. And I think he knew he was beat. You could see him just pat himself on the chest saying, you know, that one was on me. Green was well behind him. And eventually, you know, the ball is underthrown, and Lampkin does not allow Green to adjust back to the football. Easy call.
So Lampkin, who made the pick at the end of the half to set up the field goal, flag there, and the Noles quickly in Oklahoma State territory at the 47. Winston fakes it to Williams, looking downfield, fires a dart, it's caught. Rashad Green down to the 10-yard line. The guy they call Grandpa because he's such an elder statesman, a tutor for these young receivers, making a play down the middle.
And Travis Rudolph clears this out. Watch him clear it out. Opens up the middle of that defense. The safety had to respect the freshman going deep to the outside. He followed him, and then eventually Green came back into the middle. See that, how it opened up? 13 Stearns couldn't get over there until it was too late. That's a well-designed play by Jimbo Fisher in the offense.
And Lampkin, who was flagged before, beaten on that play. Williams pushed wide and dropped for a loss. Another great play by a defensive line of the Pokes, Jimmy Bean.
Jimmy Bean, 6'5", 250 pounds from Denton, Texas. You know he's fired up to be here to have a chance to play. Getting around, using quickness to be able to get around these big offensive linemen from Florida State.
That's the strength of this defense. They think Bean is going to have a good year. They feel good about this front. It's the guys behind them, but they're very thin.
They feel that quickness is an advantage tonight, even though they don't have the experience that Florida State's line has. They are beating them to the point of attack.
Three in the play clock. Once he's got to hurry. They just get the snap off, or did they? A timeout taken by Jimbo Fisher with 1 on the clock.
He came tiptoeing down the sidelines from up there. I saw him run it down. He's still dealing with a sophomore quarterback. You know, I mean, you win the Heisman Trophy as a freshman. Everybody thinks you have all the answers, but still, he's still learning.
But the loss sets him up 2nd and goal back at the 16. And Winston batted down the line again. Pressure up the middle. Agba Castleman was there as well. He's having a night.
It's quickness. That's what's giving them too much to deal with right now. They're trying to set up a screen off to the right. Too slow in developing that play. You know, that's part of the first game of the year. You try to set things up. No preseason football and college football. You've been trying to time it up with your first team defense, but it just took too long for that eventually to develop. And by the time it did, Oklahoma State got pressure on Winston.
So 3rd and goal. They'll hand it off and play for a field goal here. And red zone defense, this was a great aspect of Oklahoma State last year, Kirk. They had a touchdown percentage of 44. It means opponents failed to get a touchdown more than half the time in the red zone. The Noles were great at that, but Pokes have won that battle tonight.
Yeah, they sure have. They picked up where they left off last year. 3rd down defense, one of the best in the country. They're in the top 10. And also, as you said, the red zone efficiency at being able to stop teams from scoring touchdowns. That's what's keeping them in the game again tonight.
Aguayo, Mr. Perfect, 27 yards. That's just routine. That's too easy for the sophomore. I mean, do we even need to say it's good?
The only question is it going to hit the circle, you know, in the beautiful net there for All-State.
3 points for the Noles from their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Lead back to 10.
You could win money for the future. So enter the
motto. They've traveled extremely well. I mean, Stillwater's about a 4-hour drive from here, but Garnet and Gold outnumbering the Orange in a big way.
Surprised us when we got in here. Looked around at this beautiful stadium.
But I bet they're sitting there a little uneasy right now. They expected to be blowing out Oklahoma State. It hadn't worked out that way. Hill, again, brings it out from the end zone. Breaks the tackle. And finally stopped at the 24-yard line. All-State, good hands play, Kirk. It was good hands play.
Yeah, in fact, we've had a couple of them from linebackers. Nate Andrews with a defensive touchdown. Look at that right hand getting up in the air to knock it up into the air to himself for the interception. And then we also saw an interception on the other side from Seth Jacobs, another linebacker using that right hand to knock it up. Come up with a big turnover, one of 2 interceptions so far tonight for Jameis Winston. Let's see what the Cowboys do here. First possession here to start this second half. Still, obviously, right in the thick of things here, competing with Florida State.
It was a run-heavy first half for Gundy. Walsh not able to really complete anything downfield. Only 62 passing yards. But he shoots one across the middle to David Glidden. A nice gain out across the 40. And now they want to run tempo.
In 1st and 10, play action. They showed a little bit of an inside look. They've been running a lot of 1st and 10 run calls up the middle. They flash it and then get the ball to the quick David Glidden.
And as soon as the chains are moved, they snap it quickly. This is Rennie Childs running left. It's not quite enough speed to get the corner. It's a different field when Hill is in there. When will Hill return? Heather reported that he went to the locker room before the end of the half. Now he trots out there. Cramping was a problem for this guy. In junior college. I don't know if that was the issue tonight. It's pretty cool in here with the roof closed.
Yeah, but he's been active and involved in special teams and also as a running back tonight. A lot of touches. Remember, Oklahoma State's plan, not just executing, but tempo is their equalizer against the more athletic Florida State defense.
We need Hill's burst. He motions to the right. Walsh fakes it to him. Fires across the middle and has a man wide open. It's Glidden running free. Oklahoma State strikes quickly. 55 yards to cut the lead. The first big pass play of the night and a busted coverage for the Seminoles.
Yeah, it was a blown assignment by Florida State. Oklahoma State had trips to the field. 3 receivers out there, and they've just been lulling secondary to sleep with the play calling. Remember when I said they keep running up in the middle? They keep running up in the middle. They're setting up something for later in this football game, and that time they were able to do it.
David Glidden, second career touchdown. Didn't have one all of last year. It's a 3-point game. Nice to feel good.
Chris, let's go back to this. You see Tyreek Hill coming in motion. He's going to catch the eyes of Florida State's defense. He's going to start to cheat up. Nobody picks up Glidden, who sneaks behind him. So again, it's the awareness of Tyreek Hill. See, Hill comes in motion. They think it's trying to get a quick throw to the outside. Instead, nobody stays with David Glidden. A simple bust, but it's because of using Tyreek Hill, just using him, and they've gone so many times to try to get the ball out in space to him that the Florida State defense goes out to the outside, and they sneak David Glidden right behind him. A busted coverage here for the Noles.
Longest catch of his career. J.W. Walsh, there's a 4.6 40 down the field toward his receiver.
Hey, 20-17. 10:45 to go in the third quarter. We got a ball game.
Crafty play calling of Mike Gundy and his staff. Let's find a way to move the ball even though the faces come and go. It's a short kick. Kip Smith, the punter, handles the kickoff duty. And Freddie Stevenson, the fullback, with a short return. So they keep it away from Whitfield. And they do a good job covering it. So now the pressure on this Florida State team that was used to romping home last year, pressured only by Boston College and, of course, Auburn in the BCS championship game. Both teams that point to dominance in the third quarter. You see the results for the Seminoles, 203 points in the third quarter alone. But the Cowboys consider themselves one of the best third quarter teams in the country as well.
See how Jameis Winston responds.
Play action. Stays in the pocket. And a miscommunication. Trying to get the ball to Freddie Stevenson, the fullback. Nobody there. Back to the touchdown, Kirk.
Let's go one more time to David Glidden. Remember, Hill's coming in behind him. And then go downfield. He's going to kind of show a little bit of, hey, I'm just trying to set up this block here. And that, I think, also helped manipulate that secondary into thinking that he was going to go downfield. Jalen Ramsey jumped the route on Tyreek Hill, and it opened up, as we said, a busted coverage behind him.
So a serious stud for the Seminoles defense. Makes a mental error. 2nd and 10. Empty backfield. Winston fires complete. Caught short of the first down to the 30 by Rashad Green. To set up suddenly an important 3rd and short for the Noles, who have struggled. You know, Oklahoma State coaches said we tried to get the cut up, see how many times you get Florida State in 3rd and long. We thought it was a mistake. There were so few times. There've been a lot tonight.
Well, Florida State's 2 of 7 tonight on 3rd downs. Last year, they were one of the best offenses in the country converting on 3rd downs.
52%. They were stopped once tonight on 3rd and short. Fisher's team needs 3 yards here.
Usually like to get the ball up to Rashad Green in these situations. Also Nick O'Leary, who's off to the left.
2 on the play clock. Got to hurry, and another timeout will have to be spent by Jimbo Fisher as Jameis Winston sort of lost track of the play clock.
Wow.
So cool last year, but usually it was a romp by this time for Winston and company. Confusion. They call a timeout. Carlos Williams is in the game. Now they motion Green. Winston has time. Delivers over the middle. Almost intercepted. Threw it right off the fingertips of Emmanuel Ogbah, who's all over the field tonight.
Chris, Ogbah's lined up. He's been a defensive end. This time they line him up right over the center right here. But look at everybody's standing. Nobody's down in a stance. They don't know who's coming. Ogbah just drops. They bring pressure from the outside. He doesn't even see Ogbah. He throws it right into the hands of the big defensive lineman, who's unable to come up with the interception. But they do stop him, and they're going to get the football back.
But a concern is that Ogbah is the Cowboy down on the field. Didn't seem to hurt himself on the play.
Well, he's been an enforcer tonight.
There, make the fella stay on the ground.
He will. Don't worry.
Jason Beatty to punt it, and Tyreek Hill another chance to make a game-changing play in a return. He's been active in the offense. He's been a great decoy, as you pointed out in the last touchdown. Hasn't yet gotten loose on a return. Cowboys bring some pressure, get close to Beatty, who gets a high kick away, and Hill dives for a fair catch at the 39. They came pretty close to Beatty.
They sure did. They're going to have the fair catch, so they're coming after it, trying to get that block. Let's say this is a big point in this football game. Chris, Jameis Winston gets so much attention, but you know as well as I do that when they made a championship run last year, well, they came very close to getting that block. But when they made their championship run, Telvin Smith was out there, Lamarcus Joyner, Christian Jones, Terrence Brooks, Timmy Jernigan. They're not out there. Who's going to provide the leadership for this team in 2014 when the going gets tough?
Walsh fakes it to Rowland, fires far side of the completion for a first down across midfield to Juwan Seals. By the way, Nate Andrews, one of the key Florida State defenders, being worked on the far sidelines.
Keep an eye on that. But another play action call on 1st and 10. They've been running quite a bit. They're getting those linebackers to kind of get sucked in, and they're getting the corners to get softened up a little bit on 1st and 10. Now the corners are up tight.
Brandon Shepard comes in motion and takes the handoff. And Shepard showing his speed. A shoestring tackle prevents a huge gain by Terrence Smith, but the Pokes are rolling now.
A little quick flip here. It's a little flip. It's not a handoff. He does a quick little touch pass from J.W. Walsh that time to the gifted Brandon Shepard. He gives you an idea what kind of speed he has as well. 6'1", 195-pounder. Gets out to the edge of that defense. A lot of different looks now.
Noles defense on its heels as Walsh's pressure just fires it into the ground.
Great job. Smart feet of Tyreek Hill. The Noles defense had sniffed that out. They were expecting it.
P.J. Williams pressure. It's been an effective pressure for the Noles tonight.
Anytime the ball gets on the hash mark, you're going to see P.J. Williams a lot of times come off the corner with a blitz.
Seminole fans of the War Chant try to get their defense going as the Pokes look to tie or take the lead. Tyreek Hill shifting, and he's got it. Not much. It'll be 3rd and long. Eddie Goldman on the tackle.
Mike Gundy deserves a lot of credit for the way he's gotten his team prepared to play in this game. They stuck to their guns, even though it was 10-0 in the first quarter. They kind of stuck to their game plan to set up some opportunities.
What do you got here in 3rd and long?
You're going to try to find an open man, try to beat man-to-man coverage, maybe at the top with Seals.
Not in field goal range. Walsh has time, takes a shot, downfield, does have man coverage, jump ball, incomplete. Well, Seals could not come up with it. And that's Williams, a speedy corner defending. Good battle on the edge.
It sure is. Seals is 6'2", and you can see he's got speed. P.J. Williams is one of the fastest players on the Florida State roster, and Seals is running away from him.
And I think Seals came close to collecting that. Williams, did he get there a little early with that left hand?
Now, you can't
just strip the ball away.
You can't call that. You can't call that. I mean, it's easy to see in super slow motion that he got there just a hair early, but you can't make that call.
And that's the difference between a touchdown and a punt, because Kip Smith is on trying to knock it deep. Now whistle and a stoppage of play. It's Florida State taking another timeout. I guess they maybe wanted to be alert for a potential fake here, but they're burning through the timeouts. They're all gone.
That's big.
That's it.
That's big in this football game.
All right, so Oklahoma State back in punt formation. 35, we'll see. He's been very effective at knocking the ball dead deep inside opponent territories. Did it well last year. They snap it short and they fumble it. Would have been some kind of a trickeration, which completely goes awry, and the Noles will have great field position.
No, that was, I don't think, an attempted fake. That ball was just snapped to one of the upbacks on the left, 95 here. He's not anticipating anything. So you got off of a timeout. You've got the snapper firing it back to one of the upbacks who wasn't anticipating it. The punter wasn't anticipating it. And now instead of pinning the Noles inside the 10, they've got the ball close to midfield. Right when you had him on the ropes, now you give him a break.
So Winston, again, after the mistake, will take a shot, looking deep downfield and over the head of Green. Well covered by Lampkin. That's just more bizarre. It was a kind of a smallish gap to get the snap through.
Yeah, but that was not an attempt at being able to try to have a fake. But Ofa Hautau gets in there, pressuring Jameis Winston. I'm telling you right now, that battle up front's being won by the black jerseys. And remember, you get a little bit.
Williams breaks a tackle, gets around the right edge. Carlos Williams has a first down inside the 40 of Oklahoma State. They'll spot it at the 42. That came close to being one of the low hits you're not allowed to do in college football.
It's a new rule this year. If you go low by the knee area or below, we're going to call a roughing the passer. But that time he was up around the thigh. But the pressure is still pretty intense for Jameis Winston when he drops back to throw the football. It was the first time we've seen Carlos Williams have a chance to pick up some yards running the football.
Longest run of the game, 14 yards, that's it. Try Williams left side again, and he fights to get back to the line of scrimmage and won't. Ryan Simmons, junior, leader of that defense.
Ryan,
the linebacker this year.
Yeah, Ryan Simmons has taken over that role where he's got to be able to be the leader. Sean Lewis, Caleb Levy, the last couple of years, last 3 or 4 years, they've been the guys, and Ryan Simmons has learned quite a bit from them. He's moved from the will to the middle linebacker spot, more of a natural spot for him.
Flip it up to Mario Pender, and he's tackled immediately. So short gain. Josh Furman will force a 3rd and long, another 3rd and long for Florida State.
And the ball almost came out. Pender was fortunate to be able to hold on to that. Furman, who played safety at Michigan, has moved into kind of that nickel spot or outside linebacker. He put his helmet right on the football. The ball, he almost jarred the ball loose.
The graduate transfer.
Another 3rd down.
Linebacker. Oh, it's just 2 of 8. Can you believe it? They've been too often in 3rd and long tonight. Play clock at 4 as Winston waits, is flushed, escapes, but won't get the first down. Stop at the 38.
Chris, that's great coverage downfield, but Glenn Spencer is doing a heck of a job by mixing up the looks on third down. They're now 2 of 9 on third down. And it's because he's seeing pressure. They're getting blitzed. They're playing man. They're showing man and showing pressure. They back out of it. They rush 3. They drop 8. They're really affecting the rhythm of Jameis Winston on third downs.
Defense number 6. 10-yard penalty results in the first down.
Ashton Lampkin, who made the pick, is flagged for his second defensive holding, and that's an automatic first down. That stings for Spencer's defense. He'll move the ball to the 28.
He's had a couple of those tonight that have been costly. That one, a big one here on third down.
They're an aggressive secondary. They like to get up and press, and that means kind of dancing around, flirting with the penalty a lot of the time.
See Jimbo Fisher at the top saying, let's go snap.
Winston takes off. Makes a man miss. Inside the 20. Jameis Winston hurdles inside the 10. Sidesteps a tackler and dives to the end zone. The complete running skill set on display there.
The career long for Jameis Winston, 28 yards. How about the blocks, by the way, on that play? The left guard, Matias, the true freshman 15. See there at the end, Travis Rudolph doing his job. But Matias, the offensive lineman, he was 15, 20 yards downfield leading the way. Got a huge block that opened it up to allow him to get into the end zone.
Ball came loose just at the end. This was ruling that he broke the plane and scored, but we'll now take a look at it. Oklahoma State fans believing that the ball came loose. A monster ruling from this Pac-12 replay crew. Bangs off his own man, dives to the end zone, and I think the ball did just break the plane before it came loose, but it's pretty close.
It is.
That sideline angle here. Kevin Peterson is there ripping at the ball. Difficult to tell from that angle.
It looked like his right knee also may have touched. His right knee, Chris. Boom. That's where he's down.
They take the touchdown off the board, but give the...
Well, it's not a fumble because of the right knee being down.
The standard is high. It needs to be convincing beyond all doubt based on indisputable visual evidence. We've got lots of angles to look at, so there's some possibilities. It could be a touchdown.
To me, it's either
first and goal, half-yard line.
It's either a touchdown with a call on the field, or it's down right at the half-yard line.
There's Lamb Clark. Cowboys think it's their ball.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Gundy can't believe it. The crowd was getting excited, thinking there's going to be a reversal, but Winston giving a touchdown on the run. Not enough to turn it over.
He's fired up. But it wasn't a fumble. Once you could see his right knee while he still had the football, worst case scenario would put him down at about the 6-inch line.
It hasn't been the kind of passing night he's used to. The longest run of his career puts the Noles back up by 9 and now 10 as Aguayo stays perfect in his career in PATs.
Chris, I'll tell you, I love to see offensive linemen get downfield and contribute. Watch this guy right here, Josue Matias, what he's able to do with his athletic ability. Look at the big fella. I mean, he's 10, 15, 20 yards downfield, and he knocks down a safety. I mean, he takes him out of the play. You see Rudolph's effort there. Look at Matias. Look at it. I mean, you imagine seeing a 325-pound offensive lineman running downfield at you like that? Jameis goes over top of him.
Sidesteps him. One more look at the ball. Breaking the plane right there. Did not see well if the knee came down first. Where the nose of the football is from that angle is difficult to see.
If you remember before that ball was snapped, Jimbo Fisher knew that he had the look that he wanted. Remember, he was literally jumping up and down saying, run the play, run the play. He saw exact look based on the formation that he knew he had the numbers in the box for a big play. And he was trying to let Jameis Winston know to hurry up and snap it before they adjusted their defense, and they were able to. And, of course, they get the touchdown.
Remember that drive began at the 44 because Caleb Smith's snap on the punt hit one of the upbacks. The Knowles had good field position, cash it in to stretch the lead back to 10. Here's Hill. Straight ahead, stop at the 24-yard line. Here's what you talked about, Kirk. Jimbo showing the wheels, saying, we got what we want.
Yeah, right up there, right up the top. Say, let's go, let's go, let's go. Snap it, snap it, snap it. He knew exactly what he wanted. Spread the defense out with the formation. Get the numbers that you want. I think he got the bonus package here, getting it all the way to the end zone, but he knew he had a successful an opportunity for a successful play.
Winston, not that explosive or sudden a runner. He gets going once he gets in the open field. He's very... But he showed me something with the sidestep and the hurdle down.
Yeah, kind of lumbers down the field.
Wallace running play action. Fires over the minute into traffic, but a good catch by Shepard for a first down to the 40, and now the Cowboys will try to go to work quickly. Ramsey yet another tackle.
Another play action call. And they've opened up the playbook in this second half, giving J.W. Walsh a better chance to execute in this offense. His receivers are getting separation as well on 1st and 10.
To Hill. He's hit immediately but escapes. Tyreek Hill stutter steps into Florida State territory before Tyler Hunter cut him down.
What a great job. Initial contact there from a big defensive lineman. He bounces off of him. That's why you better wrap him up. This is not just a frail track man. He's got strength.
He's got it again. Hammer's head, and they sling him to the ground. The Knowles have seen enough of number 24 tonight.
Again, he's low center of gravity, tough to bring down. He's not just a back with great speed and quickness. And I love how they're just rotating between he and Rowland, trying to do the best job that they can to try to keep him fresh for all 4 quarters. All of a sudden, Chris,
really gotten loose on a big play yet.
Not yet. He's come close. But all of a sudden, you look up, couple first downs already in Florida State territory. Completely different feel with the Oklahoma State offense in the second half compared to the first half and the way they're able to execute against the Knowles defense.
He couldn't run temp because they couldn't get a first down for the first quarter. This is Rowland hammering away. He'll set up 3rd and about 4. Lawrence Stample stopped him. So an interesting call here for Gundy. They've had so many of these plays, Kirk, where they're not in field goal range, but they're threatening to be.
J.W. Walsh, the trigger man, he's been the difference. You know, he's had opportunities to be mobile when he's had to throw the football, been able to buy some time. He's run some option. See what he does here on 3rd down.
In this neighborhood, they've been 4 of 6 on 3rd down. They've been able to convert the makeable ones. Walsh, though, again on the run, not the strongest arm, fires low for Glidden, incomplete, and it's 4th down.
Well, he's got the arm strength to make this throw. He just, from a technical standpoint, because he had to use some speed and acceleration to get out of the pocket, he wasn't able to turn his shoulders completely towards his target, so all his momentum's kind of going off to the right. As he had an open man for a first down, he just kind of short-armed it there. Came up a little bit short to Glidden.
Kip Smith the punt. Green standing at his 10-yard line. This time they get the snap through. Looked like it was partially tipped on the way through. It's an adventure suddenly when Oklahoma State's punting. Knowles will take over at the 10 to Robert Flores.
All right, Chris, Dr. Pepper conference update. Big Ten SEC matchup in Houston. Wisconsin has 168 yards rushing. Melvin Gordon capping off a drive there. It's 17-7 Badgers. 3 words for you, Chris. Big Ten speed.
What's your reaction to that score, Kirk?
As an analyst or a fan? That's amazing. Wisconsin.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. When was the last time somebody said big?
Pender breaks through out. Listen, I mean, I don't care what conference is. Gordon Pender has speed.
Absolutely.
Daniel Ogba's back in the game. That's good news. Remember, he seemed to tweak his knee celebrating a big play. Back in there.
Yeah, Pender and Williams together. When you put both those backs together in the backfield, even if you bring Dalvin Cook, the true freshman, in, opens up your opportunities for throwing the football to these backs out of the backfield.
And finally, a real positive game for the Noles on first down. 2nd and 1. Williams knocked down. He's not going to get the first down. Ryan Simmons came flying up there, so it's 3rd and short.
I formation from Florida State. That true I with the Freddie Stevenson as a fullback.
Well, Bobby Bowden era stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
See that much from him. High formation again. It's Williams. And weary motions. It's a stretch play. Williams turned in the corner. Has a first down at the 30. Trey Flowers forced him out.
It's a different look, and it shows the versatility of what Florida State can do to you. I mean, you get caught up in that shotgun look where they can run it or throw it. Now they get under center with an I formation, something that Jimbo Fisher's always believed in, whether it's been his time at LSU or, of course, his time now at Florida State. And it gives the defense a completely different feel and a different look to have to defend because they become much more physical and more running downhill and attacking them.
Winston on first down. Looks downfield, checks to the short throw, and it's incomplete. Josh Furman was right in the face of Pender. The Oral-B USA 500 in Atlanta. Sunday, 7 o'clock on ESPN. 2 races to go till the playoffs. Watch ESPN app. You can check it out. There's precious points available. Playoff spots up for grabs in NASCAR. It's tomorrow night. On 2nd and 10, it's Pender in the game. Winston lofts it far sidelines, complete but short of the first down is Rashad Green. So another 3rd and short, or 3rd and medium coming up here. Think about 5.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, when they get you to 3rd down, again, much like what we've seen from Florida State, Glenn Spencer loves to change his personnel. He keeps rotating defensive linemen in, allowing them to stay fresh, makes it tough on Florida State's offense. The Noles only 30% conversion rate tonight on 3rd downs.
Final minute of the 3rd quarter. And the Pokes get off the field here. Winston feels some pressure, steps back, but delivers a strike. Fighting for the first down marker is Green. I think they stopped him short. Kevin Peterson, the corner, a terrific play to stop him short of the first down marker.
Outstanding play, anticipating the short route from Green, who's had some success underneath. He was all over him. The ball's thrown where he can make a play on it, obviously. Ball came out, and he held him short by about a half a yard. Green's had a big night catching a football. Nine catches now, 140 yards.
He'll become the all-time Florida State leader in receptions. Got a good chance to do so in yards and touchdowns as well. So final seconds tick it away in the 3rd quarter. Florida State figures to punt here to begin the 4th. But Oklahoma State giving number 1 a battle, down by 10. Back after this message, the birth for the sidelines. They might knock it over if they get down in that corner. So Beatty to punt. It's not Hill, but Brandon Shepard back deep. Cowboys showed they were going to come after it, but they peel back. It's a short punt. And coming up to field it is Shepard, and the Cowboys will take over about the 25.
It was a 20-17 game. This is a 3rd down, a crucial moment in this game where Ashton Lampkin locked up here with a true freshman, Travis Rudolph. They called defensive holding. That was an incompletion. They stopped him, but they called defensive holding there. And then, of course, Jameis Winston takes it 28 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. But, boy, I don't know about that defensive holding on that third down call where the Pokes defense held him and would have gotten the ball back, but that gave him the automatic first down, or gave him the first down, and then eventually they went in to score to get a 10-point lead.
Lampton flagged twice for defensive holding. Cowboys back to working at down 10. Hammer rolling straight ahead. Heather, what do you have?
Well, guys, no one happier at Florida State's last long drive on offense than Florida State's free safeties. Both of them, Nate Andrews and Jalen Ramsey, cramping severely during that last series in their legs. They spent the entire time on their backs, getting stretched, taking fluids. Jalen Ramsey back out on the field, but certainly we need to keep an eye on both of them. It seems like cramping becoming an issue here late, guys.
Thanks, Heather. With the roof closed, it's pretty cool in here, but it's just the tension, the emotion of an opening game. Rowland takes the swing pass on the left side and is dragged down near the marker to be 3rd and short.
Interesting that Heather's saying that Oklahoma State, they got a player down here. You know, they've only run now 53 plays.
Rowland walked off, clutching his rib area, so Rennie Childs in for this crucial 3rd and short. Give it to Hill. And Tyreek Hill gets the corner and turns on the Jets momentarily into Florida State territory before Tyler Hunter knocked him out.
Great speed to the outside. Rennie Childs picks up enough of a block there, but it was really just all about the speed. He uses Childs as a shield that time, and here comes the tempo with Walsh and the Cowboys now in Knowles territory.
And this is the guy in high school that ran a 20.14 200 meters. It would be good enough to be in the final heat at the Olympics in London. 2nd fastest in high school history. And he is showing the burst.
Again, press man from Florida State, free safety in the middle of the field.
Childs sidesteps a man, cuts into the secondary, bounces off another tackler, and dives to the 25. And the Pokes ground game is rolling now.
Yeah, Childs is a lot like Desmond Rowland. Once he squares his shoulders, he can run, not only accelerate upfield, but he's a physical runner at 210 pounds.
Move the sticks and go. Childs again. This time hit for no gain. This is what they try to do, get the deep defensive line tired out.
Hey, they're substituting the player, which means Florida State can if they'd like to. Look at the Knowles defense. So remember when Auburn started to go tempo? Hands on the hips. Timmy Jernigan had to check himself out from fatigue. Oklahoma State trying to do the same thing.
Here's Brown trying to help the defense on 2nd and 9. Nice snap. Walsh gives it to Childs, who gets nothing up the middle again. They're stubbornly testing that defensive line, but Reggie Northrup and Smith jumped in to help the D-line. It's 3rd and long.
How about Niall Lawrence Stample, who's in for Timmy Jernigan this year, number 99. He's checking himself out, but before he does, made a difference on that last play. He seemed to know the snap count. He jumped that snap as soon as he could and went right by the center that time, Paul Lewis.
Yet another 3rd down play where the Cowboys are really in fringe field goal territory. They need 8.
Got a slot receiver right here.
Walsh instead takes off and runs and shows the quickness. J.W. Walsh diving to the end zone. And the Cowboys are hanging around.
This kid is a gamer. His team responds to him. He's been a leader all night. What a call here. We saw Jameis Winston take one to the house to the same end zone. This time, J.W. Walsh follows his blockers on 3rd down. The Knowles are thinking about trying to get the ball thrown out to the perimeter instead. The speed, there's that speed we talked about from Walsh. He gets upfield in a hurry and takes it all the way into the end zone. And almost now.
I believe it's a 4-6.
Oh, yeah, maybe a 4-5 on that one. He's running for his life. They're back within a field goal again here in the 4th quarter.
So crucial to have a running quarterback in the modern college game. Knowles get the ball back. It's tight in Arlington.
Remind everybody that this Oklahoma State team that you're watching tonight lost more lettermen than any team in any of the Power 5 conferences. This is a young, inexperienced team that's playing tonight, showing a lot of heart, a lot of determination, much like we would expect from a Mike Gundy coach team.
Very dangerous when overlooked. Kermit Whitfield will have to hustle up. It's another short kick taken by Williams. Folks like to do the directional kicking and keep it out of the hands of number 8. And now there's a little confrontation on the sidelines after the return.
Well,
no flags, though.
Nope. 27-24, 11:47 to go. Jameis Winston has been in this situation before where the pressure's on and typically delivers. It's a different year. It's a new opportunity for him and for this 2014 Seminole team. They've been on the ropes here, Chris, in the second half, and it's another opportunity to see how they respond to some adversity and some pressure on this year's team.
Of course, those questions were answered in huge part in Pasadena. The drive, chip, the touchdown with 13 seconds to go. But Boston College, the only team in the regular season that was able to do what the Pokes are doing now, hang with Florida State. Another first down throw. It's a slant, complete, short gain. Williams was motioned out and then came back in. Ryan Simmons knocked him down.
Yeah, they had Carlos Williams lined up. They feel so good about his hands. They lined him up all the way at the top of the screen as a wide receiver, trying to create a matchup opportunity. Right away just threw the football to him, matched up against a linebacker, back into the inside of that defense.
Huge number of the slant throws by Winston tonight. Winston takes off, but he'll be dropped for a loss. Jimmy Bean got him.
It was a twist there from Oklahoma State's defense. Great awareness from them this time. Watch the twists up front. Both the ends were starting to the outside. They cross back under. And Jimmy Bean has great acceleration at 6'5", 250 from Denton, Texas. A great player with great acceleration, but Chris, that time it was more about the awareness that time of Winston.
And now the Noles need 5, or else they'll have to give the ball back to Oklahoma State with a chance for the Cowboys to take the lead. Winston has time and finds a receiver over the middle. Catch made and driven back. Whitfield has a crucial first down to the 45.
They converted, but it just looked like the Noles were a little confused. You had Rashad Green that time and Kermit Whitfield running in the same spot. The ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Got it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you had two Noles right in the same spot running a route. That usually doesn't happen.
Handed to Whitfield. Good hands and reaction.
Good focus.
The ball was tipped. On first down, Winston hit a short gain. And you can tell the confidence growing in this Oklahoma State defense with each possession.
And Glenn Spencer continuing to rotate. Remember we talked about cramping being a problem? Depth on the defensive line has been big. He's rotating constantly. Defensive linemen in and out of the lineup. Glenn Spencer, one of the better defensive coordinators you'll find in college football, keeping them fresh, allowing them to be able to have an advantage over the Florida State offensive line.
But the linebackers are going the distance. They don't have the depth at that position to rotate guys in there. And guys like Jacobs and Simmons and Furman basically have to play the whole game.
Offense number 70, 5-yard penalty, second half.
Matias guilty of the 5-yard penalty, and then he'll back him up 5. This is an offensive line, Kirk, that came into this season with tremendous hype. The 4 returning starters considered the best in the sport. Folks have more than held their own in the trenches tonight.
They sure have. That was the one area that Oklahoma State had some veterans returning, was the defensive line. They sure have held their own tonight.
2nd and 13 after the penalty. Fake it to Williams. Winston. Flushed. Hit by Ogba way behind the line. A huge loss and the 2nd sack for Emmanuel Ogba.
Ogba's had the big night. We thought he had the injury. He's been able to fight through it. That's a coverage sack. Great coverage downfield. Jameis Winston has plenty of time to try to find somebody open, but the great coverage, Jameis Winston holds on to the ball too long before trying to just throw it away or get rid of it. And again, Oklahoma State's speed up front closes in on him.
Been able to get the Noles in 3rd and long again and again tonight. This is 3rd and 26. Handed off underneath to Williams, who breaks the tackle, but he stopped 15 yards short of the first down by Flowers. And here comes a punt. Oklahoma State will get the football back, down 3 points against number 1.
Incredible job by this defense the entire football game. Considering this quarterback they're facing, the offensive line, the speed, and how young they are on their side of the ball, they've played above and beyond to give themselves a chance to compete and try to find a way to shock the world and win this game here in the fourth quarter.
Baited opponent, and Tyreek Hill back as the returner. No fair catch, even though there's a man right out of Tyreek. Just wanted so badly to try to bust loose. Coverage pretty good. Oklahoma State ball down 3. Back to this message and a word from your local ABC station.
You can't tell by looking at those numbers is the confidence that's growing with J.W. Walsh and the Cowboys as they continue to compete in this game.
They fake it to Childs. Now Walsh is under pressure. Circles back, just spikes the ball, and then has to be in the grasp. But not even going to throw a flag. They're going to rule it a sack. There was no incompletion. He just kind of spiked it. But
yeah, it's going to be intentional grounding.
Now they're going to throw the flag at the time. J.W. is pleading his case. I don't think it's a great one.
Intentional grounding. Offense number 4. Downward count despite the pass. Second half.
That'll be a huge loss. A spot foul of about 15 yards.
Yeah, and what he's trying to do here is what any quarterback would do is he's seeing these white jerseys. It almost looked like he started the throw and then he wanted to pull it back because he surprised himself that he was still standing. But easy call right in front of the referee. Now,
very tough to escape Mario Edwards, by the way.
Right. But now you're inside your own 15-yard line. It's a 3-point game. Now the play calling and the decision-making becomes very interesting here. Got to be very calculated if you're J.W. Walsh.
Walsh flushed. Still looking for a man. Fires over the middle. That's a dangerous throw. Looking for Seals, but again, another ball bounces.
He bought enough time, broke contain, to to throw the ball back into the middle of the defense when you're rolling out like that. But he actually did have Seals open. He found a little pocket, sat down in it, but just didn't quite have enough on the ball to get it to Seals. And now, a lot like what Jameis Winston was just facing, 3rd and a mile, you probably just see him either try to hope for a pass interference call or just run the football and play it.
Knowles crowd making it loud on 3rd and 24. Walsh will take a shot near sideline. It was a dangerous throw, almost intercepted as Tyler Hunter came over to defend on Seals, who's down after the play, and here comes an Oklahoma State punt.
You know, Tyler Hunter goes for the interception. I mean, he's trying to make a play. Seals actually does a good job of getting behind Darby. It looked like Hunter might come up with the pick. Somehow the ball just was able to elude him. I thought he might just try to knock it down to play it safe.
It wasn't a safe throw, was it?
No, not at all.
Shot in the double coverage on the sidelines. Smith, a low snap, in trouble, trying to run out of it. Boots a low punt, and it bounces around, and Oklahoma State escapes disaster. The Noles will still have it at the 45. It could have been much worse for Oklahoma State.
That's the second time Caleb Smith has struggled with the snap. You know, we saw him hit one of the upbacks one time who was not expecting it. Now this time he rolls one back with the ball deep in their own territory.
Good job by Smith there.
Heck of a play by Kip Smith. You know, the athletic ability. I don't know if he has a background as a shortstop, but he somehow keeps that ball alive and then has a presence of mind to get to the outside and get as much on the kick as he can.
So the intentional grounding moved him back. Bad punt snap gives Florida State a chance in plus territory at the 45 with 7 minutes to play. Takes his shot, has a man wide open. Carlos Williams sprinting free, and now they blow a whistle. Did he step out of bounds? That's back at the 25-yard line. Carlos can't believe it. He was so wide open.
Yeah, let's take a close look at this, because I don't know if his foot was up in the air So far, he's
there
right
it is.
there. He's out of bounds at the
Good
20,
call.
20, almost just inside the 25-yard line.
Just couldn't quite keep his balance after making the catch. So first down, and Winston looks to throw again, loops it over the head of O'Leary. And there's a flag down.
Knowles went with a hurry up. I don't know if they caught.
Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
It's Austin Barron, the center. First holding call of the night.
We haven't had a lot of penalties tonight for a first game, but we've had some crucial penalties in big moments in the game that have impacted a drive or affected a stop on third down.
Yeah, it seems like all of them either
big
extended the drive or killed the drive.
Yeah, some big penalties tonight.
And it's first and 20 now, back to the 35. There's a short throw. Catch made, now the rule incomplete. Rashad Green was well defended by Seth Jacobs.
And that play, another play that takes some time to develop. You have Rashad Green, who's kind of the check down, but they were trying to again find Carlos Williams sneaking out of the backfield on a wheel route, but it was covered that time, so you had to try to find the open receiver, and Green actually was covered. So it's now second down and long. Green's due for a play. You know, he and Ashton Lampkin have been going back and forth up to the top of your screen.
There have been some excellent battles in the perimeter night between these Knowles receivers and the aggressive corners. Now they back off and give him some room, and it's a run. Williams just lowers his head, and on second and 20, he picks up 2. It's interesting decision-making for Fisher and the offensive brain trust here. A field goal only puts him up 6. This would be a long one. Aguayo is capable.
Be about a 50-yarder for Aguayo. A leg.
It's within his range, especially under perfect kicking conditions. But again, it's just for a 6-point lead. Winston on third and long, fires over the middle, complete. Catch made by Green. Can he get the corner? He gets a block. Rashad Green skips down to the 20. Not enough for the first down. Furman pushed him out, but a much more makeable field goal attempt now for Aguayo.
But a big stop by Oklahoma State, and the penalty. Remember, we talked about crucial penalties. Not a lot, but a crucial penalty. Something that ends a drive for you. Aguayo has a chance to put him up by 6, but it's going to give Oklahoma State the football back and give J.W. Walsh another chance.
Aguayo from 37. Again, just one miss in his career. What a comforting feeling to have a kicker like that. The Noles haven't always been automatic with field goals in their history.
They are now.
With this guy, they are.
Yeah.
Leads only 6, though. 5:13 to go.
Update, Wells Fargo getting it done. Certainly Georgia's Todd Gurley getting it done against Clemson. Career high 198 yards, 4 touchdowns as Georgia beats Clemson 45-21. Guys.
Robert, thank you. Knowles kicking it away. It's another short kickoff to keep it away from Tyreek Hill. Up by the up man. And it's going to give Oklahoma State some excellent field position. Blake Jarwin rumbling forward to the 43, so they try to avoid the speedster, but they give up excellent field position. And if you're Oklahoma State, you couldn't have asked for anything more. All the new faces, the inexperience on this team, and all the hype surrounding their opponents. They've never beaten a #1 team in their history, Kirk. It's a one-possession game at the 44 with 5:08 to go. They got 3 timeouts if they need them.
And who better to lead them and try to give them a chance than J.W. Walsh, the coach's son, kind of a gritty leader. This team has responded to him all night. See what he and the Cowboys have in store against this athletic Knowles defense.
There's a short pitch to the far side, and Chris Lacey, the talented true freshman, picks up about 4. Heather?
Chris and Kirk, I'm sure you've noticed that Desmond Rolling, the running back for Oklahoma State, is not out on the field. He did go into the Oklahoma State side of the locker room to where there is an x-ray machine. He was holding his ribs. Now, Oklahoma State does not give out injury information, but I can tell you that's what I saw, and they are still without their starting running back.
Thank you, Heather. Good job. He seemed to be in pain when Roland walked off. Walsh keeps it. Is knocked head over heels. Ball comes loose, and the Seminoles pounce on it. A huge turnover as the quarterback went head over heels, and the ball came out. P.J. Williams, the corner, look at him come diving in there and take out the quarterback's legs.
Boy, P.J. Williams has been coming. The ball actually comes out before the surface could cause that fumble. That is a great hit. Ball goes into the air. Quarterback does a cartwheel, and the ball comes out. The Noles defense comes up with the play of the night, led by one of their leaders, their new leaders this year, P.J. Williams. He's been coming on that corner blitz all night long, and this time he makes the play that could determine the outcome of the football game.
He made a huge play against Auburn. He was the defensive player of the game in the BCS championship game with that pick of Marshall. Forces the fumble and recovers it. And the Noles are in business at the 48. Williams. The running game just has not been there tonight. Williams expected, I think, to create some big creases. Another check of the fumble. Just a tremendous individual effort.
Unbelievable hit play here by Williams. Again, he has been active. This time they take a chance. They attack down. It was a great read, by the way, on the zone read by J.W. Walsh. He pulled it at the right time to go to the next level. But that attacking secondary got after him, and they forced the ball out. The awareness by the Noles, they got the football back. Remember, this game's not over. Oklahoma State still has 3 timeouts left.
Winston on second and long. Throws into traffic, but it's caught. Rashad Green racing for the end zone. And the Noles cash the turnover into 6. 50 yards.
Well, we knew Rashad Green was going to get his hands on the ball and have a chance to make a big play. That puts him over 200 yards on the night. He does most of his damage after the catch, and that time it's
Kirk, speaking after the catch in the championship game.
That's exactly what he did. A quick slant, catches that football. He shows you what kind of speed he has afterwards.
Aguayo with a point. 11 catches, a career-high 203, and the touch.
Yeah, this is a nice job. Winston, look at the time that he has. This time they take care of him in traffic, but that's where Green is typically able to show people what he can do. Throughout his entire career, you can count on number 80 going into traffic, into the middle, and being able to come up with a football. It's a great catch, number 1. He made a turn, and I think he was surprised that a safety didn't hit him. He was still up, and boy, he's got speed. He pulls away from the safeties and into the end zone.
A smart receiver, pick things up quickly, started as a freshman. How good you got to be a 4-year starter, a receiver at a place like Florida State. And before he leaves, he's going to have all those records. And here's another look at the fumble created by Williams on Walsh. It set up the touchdown. The lead is 13 inside of 4 minutes. Urgency now for the Cowboys.
That combination of P.J. Williams and Rashad Green, you know, throughout the 13 games of 12 or 13 that they end up playing, they assume they get to an ACC championship. They're both going to end up deciding the outcome of a lot of games.
See if they kick it away from Tyreek Hill again. It's a short kick, but Hill's going to come up and take it at the 15. Tyreek Hill. Well, gets the corner after a nice little shoulder fake in the clear and finally forced out of bounds. Aguayo, the kicker, had the angle on him, but Oklahoma State just won't go away. They're in great position. They try to cut the lead now.
Boy, this kid is really amazing. I mean, Mike Gundy played college football. He's been coaching college football for a long time. He said, I've never seen a faster player in person. And he said it with a really serious face. He wasn't kidding. Never seen a faster player in person. I think a lot of people thought, well, okay, he's fast. But tonight, his first game in big-time college football, we're seeing what Mike Gundy talks about.
They got a lot of fast guys. It's Childs. Knifing into the secondary. Tough run on first down. Jalen Ramsey, another tackle. They got to play quick.
Oklahoma State's thinking about, of course, there's under about 3.5 to go, and they've got 3 timeouts. That big kickoff return gives them some hope, but they've got to score in a hurry and get their defense back out there.
Childs, a short gain. It'll be 3rd and short. Aaron Smith made this up. You got to hop up quickly and get going here. 2 scores down.
Walsh is going to have to make a play, whether it's with his arm or with his feet. He's going to have to make a play here if the Cowboys want to put the ball in the end zone.
Well, we got 2 downs to get to 2 yards, but the clock is the bigger issue. Walsh flushed. Run for a first down easy. Tucks it, shows the speed, and darts out at the 15.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, he's going to have to create. He's going to have to make a play. This time it's a broken play. It's the linebackers clear out with the running backs, play man-to-man. And when you play man-to-man against a guy like J.W. Walsh, he recognizes it. It just opens up, and he finds that crease and gets big yards.
This is Childs cutting it back. Childs hammers down. Still running tough inside the 5. It'll be
the clock stops
first
too,
and goal
for the first down. I think Florida State started to celebrate. Maybe they thought this game was over after the Green touchdown. But here we are, 4 or 5 plays later, and Oklahoma State's about to get the ball into the end zone. They haven't had to use 1 timeout yet.
Nope. Childs hit in the backfield. Escapes, just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Terrence Smith was there quickly. Their first mistake was kicking it to Hill. And I think you're right, exactly right, Kirk, that Knowles sort of relaxed up 13 here. Jameis Winston, a shake of the head. He's about to go back to work in what could be a very important possession.
Got Hill back in there for Childs.
Walsh. There's a fade to the end zone, a jump ball incomplete. The receiver's helmet comes off. P.J. Williams was defending there against Marcel Aitman, who hasn't really been involved tonight.
And he's going to have to check out of the lineup here. P.J. Williams is going for the football. There's nothing illegal there at all. Aitman is kind of looking over to say, hey, help me out here. That's pass interference, but that was a clean play and another nice play by P.J. Williams.
He's got to come out. David Glidden comes back into the game. It's 3rd and goal. Inside of 2 minutes.
Got trips to the right here, Chris. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try to run the football maybe back to the left with either the quarterback or, of course, Tyreek Hill.
Now they motion Hill, and Walsh hits a run all the way. He's got blockers fighting for the end zone. The Cowboys showing heart, cut into the lead.
As soon as I saw trips to the right, I figured they're up to something. I mean, it just looked like they were going to try to run the football back to the left. They got numbers. That's the strong side of their offensive line. They do a nice job of leading the way through, and there's the toughness once again from J.W. Walsh to get the ball into the end zone. They have all 3 of their timeouts left.
It's good call, Coach Herbstreit. We've seen the speed of Walsh. That was just the toughness. Would not be denied.
No doubt.
So Grogan to cut it to a 6-point game. They didn't use much time.
2:03.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all, considering they were able to, again, save those timeouts.
Full start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Try for point.
Chris Grisby guilty, so they'll back it up 5 yards. And beginning at the 39-yard line after the kick return was huge. It allowed them to save some time. Didn't burn a timeout. And it's a 6-point game.
You got the 3 receivers. They even motion Hill, trying to just catch all the attention of the Florida State defense, thinking that they'd be going to the offense's right.
Paul Lewis there making a block.
They got some Lewis, Grisby leading the way.
Seaton, the fullback, in there.
And then the toughness there of the quarterback. You know, regardless of how this game finishes, you got one team in Florida State who has expectations of making the Final Four and back into this building in early January. You got another team that's in a quote-unquote rebuilding year because they lost so many players. I think one team's going back to the drawing board getting ready for week 2 thinking, hey, guys, I told you, we're young, but we're going to have a great year. And Florida State's going back to the drawing board saying, hey, fellas, it's not going to just be as easy as you think it is. We told you, you better be ready to go. This game's not over.
Cowboys didn't come here for moral victories, that's for sure. Now, do you onside kick it, or do you boot it away and then use your timeouts?
I think with 3 timeouts, you consider taking like a little bit of a deeper pooch kick, but it looks like they're going to go with the onside. Yeah, they're going onside kick.
So Smith, the punter, handles the kickoff duties. It's actually 2 kickers in there. Will it be Grogan or Smith? It's going to be Smith. Boots it, deflected. Ball is loose, goes out of bounds. It'll be Seminole football. So they tried a little wrinkle there with 2 kickers in the game. Which direction would it go?
Well, when we were at practice on Thursday, I noticed that when they were practicing their onside kicks, they were very consistent with getting that ball to pop up. And time after time, they must have done it 4 or 5 different times. It popped up perfectly to number 20, the end man, and gave them a chance to recover it, so they have confidence. Now, listen, they got all 3 of their timeouts. Jimbo Fisher is a play caller. He's in a unique position now. Does he run 3 straight times, even though the running game hasn't been that great? Force him to use the timeouts, go predictable, or does he give Jameis Winston a chance here to throw the football? I think he'll run the ball and try to force them to use all 3 of their timeouts.
It's been a pass-heavy play-calling night because the running game hasn't been there. Williams takes a handoff, and once again, he's hit behind the line and will lose a yard. Ryan Simmons popped him, and Ogbo is in there again. The running game just has not worked at all. Credit Oklahoma State's defense, but this is not what Fisher and the Noles expected with that experienced offensive line.
Now, Sam Wren does a nice job. How about Ryan Simmons? Middle linebacker has been all over the field for Oklahoma State's defense. That time he was in there early. They're kind of guessing and speculating as well, Chris, thinking about running game and kind of attacking downhill themselves.
Well, we're going to dissect this game. If Florida State does hang on, it'll be another team that's hyped as a potential playoff team in year 1 of this format that struggled and had to claw. And there's going to be a lot to talk about at the end of week 1 in college football.
Oh, yeah, starting with Thursday night with what Texas A&M did on the road in Columbia to right now, watching this.
So 2nd and 10. Pokes with still 2 timeouts to use. Does Fisher call a pass? Yes, play action. Winston looks downfield to take a shot, gambles, overthrows the receiver, and a flag comes in. A flag again in that zone where it could be defensive holding.
It is. Ashton Lampkin held on.
For a 3rd time?
Yep, 3rd time. He held on to Rashad Green. Rashad Green was about to go by him again, and he wrapped his arm around his waist again.
You know, it's tough position to be in.
Defense number 6. 10-yard penalty.
Number 1, you got to start with a gutsy call by Jimbo Fisher.
Sure, you got single coverage out there, puts a lot on Lampkin. Had a huge pick, but now has grabbed receivers 3 times. You thought 1 was a marginal call.
Well, not this one.
Wasn't.
Not this one. He almost tackled him. But it's a great call by Jimbo Fisher on 2nd down, thinking that, you know, conventional wisdom says that you're going to run the ball and use the timeouts, but he gets aggressive with his play calling and trusts Jameis Winston and his offense to execute, and they get to pass interference. Now they're just going to try to work this clock as much as they can.
And 1st down, and Williams right. Williams breaks free. Remembers close to a 1st down. Jordan Stearns stops him. It's right near the 1st down marker, and they're going to move the chains. Stay tuned for the Ford wrap-up after the game with Robert Flores. Analysis of this and all of the other Saturday night games. So it's another 1st down. Gundy still with those 2 timeouts, and they'll spend one right here with 1:35 to go. If the Noles take care of the ball, they should be able to bleed it down with just the 1 timeout remaining.
Yeah, you know, one more 1st down, or even Oklahoma State just has the 1 timeout now. So Jimbo Fisher's decision to take the shot, go downfield to Rashad Green on 2nd down, ends up paying off for him.
Williams. And they just take care of the football. Short gain. And now a whistle. And the final timeout taken by Oklahoma State. So Leary was involved downfield and the hat taken off.
Yeah, he and Jordan Stearns got caught up there a little bit. But again, it's what makes week one so fun. You know, you anticipate a lot, you wonder, you try to forecast, you think, okay, Florida State looks great on paper. They could be even better maybe this year, even though they lost some great players. And it's week one. Just because they played the way they did tonight doesn't mean, oh, well, they're not as good as we thought they'd be. Played a gritty team and a tough team with Oklahoma State. How about their story tonight? I mean, nobody expected them other than their own 37-31 with the defending national champions. So they use this as a springboard into the rest of their season.
Gundy being pushed back off the sidelines. Demanding some sort of explanation. Williams just tries to secure the ball. Gets a couple. Now it's third down.
Yeah, one more snap should do it.
And the clock will get down well inside of a minute on this play. You look at Winston's stats. 25 of 39, Kirk, 370 yards. The touchdown. Did have the 2 interceptions, which is the most he's ever had. It equals a career high. And, of course, the 28-yard touchdown run. But he would say it didn't meet his own expectations, I would think, tonight.
I would just say, if I didn't look at the numbers, I would say that he didn't have a great game. Right. Florida State's offense didn't have a great game. This is not the type of Florida State offense that they want to run this year. Jimbo Fisher would be the first one to tell you that, but it's week one. You go back, you learn from what you did well, what you can do better, and you try to grow. But they'll be a much different team as the season progresses, and maybe this will get their attention when they look at the film and watch this one.
They are pretty one-dimensional tonight. If you take away Winston's touchdown run, the running backs didn't do much tonight behind that heralded offensive line. Give tremendous credit to Oklahoma State. They're not going to come away with a victory. They're going to still be looking for that first win over a number one. This will be the 4th close call that they had over the years, but this roster of young, fresh faces has shown tremendous grit and fight tonight.
Well, all I can tell you is I can't wait to watch Oklahoma State play next week. Just watching these guys play tonight, the way they did with the heart, determination, kind of an us against the world mentality, a chip on their shoulder. I hope they're able to use this as a springboard and have a real competitive year this year in the Big 12.
There's a conversation with this Pac-12 crew now. The hat of O'Leary came off down the field.
At the clock to 41 seconds. The helmet came off, number 10 of the defense. By rule, 10 seconds will be subtracted from the clock. Please reset to 31 seconds.
So it was the helmet of Seth Jacobs on defense. O'Leary did lose his helmet, but the defensive players, what comes into issue, and they'll run the clock down to 31 seconds. Fourth down and 4. So telling his guys to stay focused.
Mike Gundy's beside himself.
It's been a little confusing for all parties here. Yeah. The clock situation, I think the officials confused as well. Jimbo Fisher's on the far side demanding an explanation. And now the clock is running. Knowles didn't believe they had to take another snap. But you can see the play clock is just ahead of the game clock. About 6 seconds. Knowles are out of timeouts. They spent them. Just going to tick down. And we'll take the delay of game penalty.
Right.
So 6 seconds to go. It's now 4th and 9.
Number 5.
Back at the 35.
Hill, first down.
So now with 6 seconds left, he's probably just going to tell Jameis take a snap and
Run around and fall down.
just take about 3 or 4 steps backwards maybe and take a knee, or
Well, if you don't,
maybe
if you don't
hand it
use
off.
all the seconds,
Hand
though,
it off to
Oklahoma
Carlos.
State will have a shot.
hand it off to the Williams.
Now he's just going to throw it up. By the time it comes down, it'll be 000 on the clock. That's an adventurous way to kill the final seconds of a very, very hard-fought victory.
That sequence of events was very fitting to the way this game was played
So funky,
tonight
wasn't it?
by Florida State.
You know, J.W. Walsh disappointed, played his heart out. The native